we ever go online, okay, we're online. Ooh, Chatterbox 49. I say, man, that's funny. I titled I may have lost my mind, but in reality, it's like there's really not a doubt. Nobody's questioning if that happened.
Right. Yeah. I kind of figured that happened long before I knew you.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see, there we go. Yeah, there's got to be a better way. Oh man, so fucking somebody retweeted like 68 fucking tweets from somebody. Because they were doing one of those big long like diatribes on some political issue or another. And hey man, right on. I dig it. If you're doing like 2 or 3 tweets, but at the point where you start getting into double digits, do you not fucking know what twit longer is? Is it that complicated? Like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You go to twit longer. It was just ridiculous. I'm like, thank you for putting that in my feed, man. Wait.
Yeah. Yeah, it becomes white noise at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and grounds for blocking, I would think. Like if somebody's doing that much, I'd be like, I'm done with you, dude.
I may unfollow that person.
Yeah, that's a little extreme, man.
So here's one that I think is funny because it keeps coming up. This is just constantly coming up. This is an old one right here. Well, I guess it's not that old, November 2017, but like legit, like they keep bringing this up because they brought it up like a year ago, and they keep bringing it up like, why is Taylor Swift not political? And it's like, maybe because she has some decorum, like,
right?
Or recognizes that she's a pop star and that's what she wants to do is entertain people and make money. It's so fucking funny. It's like, how ridiculous is Hollywood gotten that now everybody's getting called out for not getting political on shit?
Yeah, this is nuts, dude. Like, no, you must be. And we need you to be.
Yeah, oh man. Well, and then Hollywood's on fire right now anyway. Southern California fires are going.
Oh, yeah. I believe Chelsea Handler is blaming Trump for that.
Are they really blaming Trump? It really wouldn't surprise me at this point. Like everything.
Yeah. Yeah, it was something like that. Maybe not directly, but it was something like, holy shit, you're insane, dude. Like, I just literally wanted to fucking hear her say something as dumb as, like, if Hillary were president, this fire wouldn't have happened.
Doesn't her taking that piss shower kind of like fucking make her credibility zero? To me, it does.
Yeah.
If you're allowing yourself to be filmed while somebody's pissing on you and you're laughing about it because it's funny to you, like, to me, that's just like your opinion.
When did that happen? Honestly, I completely missed that.
All over. Not that long ago. She's apparently somewhere out on a boat with friends and fucking was swimming in the water, and one of the dudes just started pissing on her, and she was just loving it.
Yeah, that sounds about right. She seems sick and twisted.
Man, it's just like one of those things where it's like, yeah, you know what? That's a fucking private moment. Like,
yeah.
If you're into that, I don't care. Like, that's cool. I just, if you're gonna publicly fucking allow that shit out, that just is ridiculous. Because it's one of our friends that's recording it, and they were out in the middle of nowhere on a boat.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Saying, oh yeah, go ahead and post it. I got no problem with that.
Yeah, that's just like, how fucking ridiculous are you as a human?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then this is a sad story that I didn't want to bring up, but as early, but I do want to address it because it keeps fucking playing sound. Somehow it just keeps starting up the video over and over, despite me having paused it. Have you seen anything about August Ames?
No, I just saw the name on one video from somebody, but I did not. Oh, wait, is she the one that killed herself?
Yes, she's the one that hung herself. It looks like it looks like from this article, it looks like she hung herself.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, she's she's Canadian, I believe, a porn star.
Yeah, Canadian adult film actress.
Yeah.
And so what happened is, well, everybody's blaming this one dude, and personally, I think it's pretty ridiculous because if you're going to kill yourself over whatever the situation is, obviously there's other issues going on.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else can exacerbate those issues to a limited extent, but that's really like the person who did it is the person who's responsible.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. Like, obviously, she had issues, if not,
Well, what happened was she refused to do a scene with the dude because he used to do gay porn. And she was like, no, that's too risky for me. I'm not interested in doing the scene. So he started harassing her. Yeah, he got a couple of her jobs canceled, I guess through connections or whatever. Wow. And other people started harassing her on Twitter as well, like some of the other people from the adult film industry.
I'm going to stop
sharing this because it'll keep playing if I don't close it out. And it's like, yeah, like that's shitty. Like the dude's definitely a piece of shit, but he's not the one that made her kill herself. I mean,
yeah, he's not responsible for her death, dude.
Well, and in my opinion, all you have to do is ask yourself this: if people started harassing you for not fucking somebody, would you fucking kill yourself? Like, even if it's 100 people, that's never going to be something that I consider.
Yeah. Unless she thought like her career was ruined because of it, but even then, it's still fucking extreme, dude. Like, that shit'll blow over.
I can get another career.
Yeah, because from what I understand,
I can sue people.
Yeah, and from what I understand, she was afraid of getting like AIDS because a lot of the gay performers apparently have AIDS or something.
Well, it's much higher risk.
Right.
As much as people want to pretend with the politically correct nonsense that it's not, it really is. Homosexual sex is just much higher risk of contracting AIDS and STDs. It just is.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
and I believe that was her reasoning. I don't think she's homophobic, right? Or she wasn't homophobic.
Well, she's worked with other ex-gay performers. I believe the case was she didn't feel he had been tested recently enough to be safe after he stopped doing the gay porn.
Oh, gotcha.
Like he was still doing both at the same time, whereas the other ones had stopped doing gay porn for a period of time. Long enough that she felt comfortable with the testing procedure being accurate.
Yeah.
That's my best guess. Or, maybe she just didn't want to fuck that dude.
Yeah.
Like I think that seems like a pretty reasonable fucking situation to me.
Right.
I'm just not into that guy. Fair enough.
Yeah. But either way, I can't. I can't see them being again like you were saying, shitty fucking person putting her, trying to kind of ruin her because she didn't want to fuck him for whatever reason, But she obviously must have had issues beyond, Like again, I think there's some well-adjusted porn stars out there, but I think they're by far the exception.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, there's a lot of people in porn that are really fucked up in the head.
Yeah.
Let's be fair. I mean, you got chicks that are basically letting dudes just rape their face.
Yeah.
That's not a healthy choice.
Yeah. Yep. So I mean, obviously, or almost certainly, she had issues already, and that just again may have exacerbated it, like you said. But to blame the dudes is he's definitely a dick. Like you said, it's definitely a fucked up thing to do. But
I agree. He's a piece of shit. Hey, we got chat. William and Mad Metal. Hey, what's up, man? Mitzoker did a good thing about the thing. Although I still don't dig the people that are blaming the guy like you made her kill herself. Nah, she did that on her own.
Yeah. Basically, she only whatever her reasons are, but
I still have myself selected there. I gotta fix that. Okay. Forgot to look at chat. I'm like, oh damn.
All right.
Oh man, I got into it on Twitter with TJ from what is it? Like I'm surprised he even responded. Yeah, that's the guy. That guy. Banana.
Yeah, the amazing atheist.
Because he was comparing Roy Moore and Franken, because Franken is apparently talking like he's going to step down. He may actually resign.
Right.
And I'm like, on the one hand, you have direct evidence of like sexual assault, like sexual harassment. I don't know if it counts as assault if you don't directly touch the person. but it's clearly an illegal act. And he was trying to say that it's not illegal to do like a hover hand right over a woman's tits. Like, I'm like, dude, do you think you could just go do that on the fucking street?
Right.
Like, what do you think's gonna happen?
Yeah, you can just walk up to a stranger, some chick, and fucking pretend to grab her tits, dude. That's no problem at all.
You're gonna get arrested. Like, you're not gonna. It's not a felony. You're not going to like federal fuck me in the ass prison for 20 years. But you're gonna at least get a fine and some community service, and you're probably gonna go to jail for a couple of hours while you get bonded out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Just like, it blew my mind because there were all these people who were like agreeing with him, like, "Oh yeah, that's totally not illegal." I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, TJ's a fucking idiot, dude.
Oh,
yeah, he's wildly inconsistent with a lot of his opinions, dude.
Well, he still relies on Snopes.
Oh, wow.
He fucking like. So I sent an article over because he was talking about more how everything's substantiated because like. Sorry, Metal Man's comment got me there. Hover hands in Texas might lead to the girl beating your ass.
Right?
Yeah, dude. Seriously. Oh man, I love that his idea was that it would be totally cool. And TJ's from like Arkansas. He's not from Texas. That's right.
Mm-hmm. No, Metal Man is from Texas, right?
No, I was thinking maybe TJ was from Texas too, but then I was like, no, I think he was Arkansas.
I thought he was Canadian. I thought TJ was Canadian for some reason.
He might be Canadian.
Yeah, who cares?
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, no, I followed him for a while, but then I realized he's kind of a fucking con artist, dude.
Well, I mean, so there's like this article that points out that the manager of the mall that everybody claims he was banned from is like, no, he wasn't.
Right.
There's no actual evidence, so there's no records to prove anything otherwise. But like, I'm gonna side with the manager of the mall over like I don't care how many other employees.
Yeah,
because you would think a prominent judge being banned from your mall is something that the manager would fucking remember.
Yeah.
Like,
no, it's
he might be in Arizona. I don't know where he is now. I just think he was from like Arkansas. No, maybe he was from Florida. It would explain a lot of things.
I don't know why I was thinking Canada, but yeah.
One of his parents,
he's still upset about being a huge guy with a micro penis, I would imagine.
Yeah, well, I mean, that banana was making him look small. Sorry, I shouldn't do the banana thing.
But no, apparently he's fucking giant. Like he's 6'6", 6'7", like a big dude. And, big tall guy. Apparently a tiny cock, dude.
Little tiny dick. Poor guy.
Poor feller. That'll fuck up anybody, dude.
I mean, maybe he just has a very large clitoris.
Nah, could be. He thinks of it that way, dude. That's a lot better.
I never thought of it that way. No, it just got me to Snopes. And the really funny part was even Snopes was like, well, there's no substantiated evidence to prove this is true. So it doesn't even say it's not even green. It's whatever yellow means on that site.
Yeah.
But if they threw it the whole thing, they're like, well, people say it's based on rumor that people remember. And it's like, wait, what? Wait a minute.
Yeah, I assume he's probably assuming nobody's actually checking the source because, again, people like that have a rabid, sycophantic fan base that are just going to buy whatever they fucking tell them.
Oh, there's a bunch of people.
Look, he's got a citation. Yeah, they'll be like, look, he's got a citation. It must be true. And they never bother to actually check the citation.
Citation. Well, I mean, it doesn't even support what he said because all I'm saying is without solid evidence, you can't just assume that the person's guilty. You got to actually have some proof.
Yeah.
And he said it's not good enough anymore. We've all seen it be lies way too many times now.
Yeah, for sure.
And what is it, like
more and more so?
And like all these probably every single frat at this point. Like how many rats have been accused at this point? I think it's all of them.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, we had drunk sex, so I regret it now. You're a rapist.
Or like, in like the Rolling Stone article, like the person wasn't even there. Like they literally found evidence to the fact that she was in a completely different place on that night. Like she wasn't even there in the house.
Wow.
Yeah. That's why Rolling Stone got in so much trouble. Was just because they literally did not do even the most basic of fact checking.
Yeah, no, it's that's fine for like Chambers or Geek Thulu, but you know, journalists shouldn't be going around doing that shit. Yeah. Well, no, it's funny because Geek Thulu likes a bitch. Like he went in on Chambers for doing that shit, like jumping the gun and fucking, and then he did the same thing. The other day he was like, this is bullshit. Look, Base Mom and all these guys appeared on a thing on Ogre's 24-hour stream. And it turned out that all it was from like a year and a half or 2 years ago they were on, and he was just Ogre was just replaying something. Oh, like, dude, you should have fucking checked into that. Like, that's ridiculous to think that because it was like Sargon, Razor Fist, Base Mama.
That was a long fucking time ago.
Yeah,
Ogre was still in Ogre's corner at that point, man.
Yeah, but really again, like something that. You know. Yeah, after all the fucking, after all them talking shit, like you really should have checked into that a little bit, because it would be utterly ridiculous for all of them to come on there at this point. Yeah. And bother, and that's one of the huge things.
They've all seen how absurd Ogre is at this point. There's no way they would go back on his channel for any reason, really.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, so you really believed all those people went on there without bothering to check and see what the fuck it was all about?
When I think the only way they got Sargon was the Britishers like friends with Sargon.
Yeah.
And so he got Sargon on, and then that's why the rest of the people started showing up, because Sargon is on there, so everybody has to take their shot at the big time kind of thing.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't blame him. I'm sure, I'd love a chance I would love an opportunity to shout at Sargon just because I think he's an interesting, wacky dude.
Yeah, I lost. Again, I don't follow him anymore just because, again, he kind of the horseshoe thing was really strong with him.
He's always been left wing. I mean, to be fair, like he's never been a right wing guy. So
he was doing the same shit. Different phrases or whatever you want to call it, but he was really doing the same shit as the SJWs do, where if you criticize them, you just start accusing the people that are criticizing you of bullshit. Like, instead of fucking, saying transphobic, homophobic, bigot, he was just saying shit like purity test and fucking autist, shit like that.
Yeah,
it was the same shit. Yeah, he's gotten incredibly lazy, or again, I haven't followed him in a while. Maybe he's fine again now. I don't know, but I was just like, dude, you're doing the same shit as your fucking enemies, dude. Again, different words, but you're doing the same fucking tactic. It's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, and it's just silly. Yeah, that's true. It's like, you got to remember, you got to attack. Ogre is like, he's like a bald dude who's like a chicken farmer. Mad Metal asking in the chat.
All right.
Who, like, apparently he flashed chagrin on like a stream that after it had gone off air.
Is that what happened?
Just like other weird shit. Well, you know what?
It's nuts.
Hold on, I gotta wait for a sec.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Grungy Dude on Twitter. Yeah, that's a pretty good description. But yeah,
as much as that's not cool, I agree that's not cool. Like, how many people have whipped out their dick or their tits on streams at this point? Really? I mean,
yeah,
I'm not.
Yeah, I don't want to defend the guy, but
yeah, exactly. I don't want to defend the guy, but at the same time, I'm like, really, is it that weird for the internet at this point?
Right. But yeah, no, that dude's fucking nuts, man.
Yeah, he's not cool. Why he just started, like, he got to the point where he'd start yelling at people like super aggressively for like weird little shit, and then just suddenly being okay. And I'm like, all right, I can't do this.
Yeah. Well, you combine crazy. He seems like a narcissist or borderline or something, and you add fucking alcohol to that, it's just a fucking recipe for disaster. Yeah, it's.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because I remember this was a long time ago. This is back when I was still following fucking Liz Reptile, back in the fucking pre-Zephanorian days. He went on a stream and was on the stream with her and fucking spurred out over some stupid shit. And fucking, I was just like, this guy's fucking insane, dude. Like, I thought it was a joke at first. Like, oh, he's fucking around. I'm doing some post shit. And like, no, he was really fucking genuinely freaking out. And I'm like, that guy's insane, dude. He did it to someone else too.
I never saw that. That probably would have cued me in a lot quicker.
Yeah, no, it was weird. Well, you know how the cancer streams are. And they made some joke about Jews, and he fucking freaked out about that.
Oh, that's what set him off, really?
Yeah. He's like, I'm Jewish, and I get, and the other dudes on the stream like, so am I, dude. It didn't bother me at all. You know, like, yeah, it's a fucking cancer stream.
Yeah, well, I mean, the whole point is just to be politically incorrect and make like terrible jokes that you obviously don't mean.
Yeah, it's the fucking point of it, dude. Is to fucking say crazy shit, say fucked up shit. You know, back in the good old days when that was still a decent, you know, before Liz and Zeph hooked up and Liz lost her fucking mind.
Well, yeah. You know, I mean, the meat flaps had to wrap around a pole at some point, I guess.
Right. Yeah. Honestly, I really think her issue is that she doesn't think for herself, dude. And having Zeph as the person thinking for you is just a bad idea.
I think it's just weird to do a stream where you charge people to go on and play a fucking shitty game.
Yeah.
Like, to me,
and I thought that was funny. No, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I mean, like, it's one thing to, you know, ask for, you know, hey, if you can donate or something like that. I'd appreciate if you go to my Patreon, whatever. But like, yeah, why would you charge people money to be on your stream? That's just weird. Like, to me, it is weird. Like, do what you want. It's your thing. But
yeah, and the thing is, she was doing that way before any of the adpocalypse shit happened, you know. And then she on that fucking
because her channel isn't big enough to really get a lot of cash, you know.
Yeah, but I just thought it was ironic for her to fucking make that video talking shit about stuff like that. Like, dude, you've been doing it longer than anybody.
Well, she was talking shit about other people begging for money.
Yeah, have you not seen the stream or the video with? Yeah, you've
been watching a lot of her shit. I'm sure I have, but you know,
it's the one with her death, the one everybody was freaking out about because they were like,
"Oh, yeah." I was that part of what she was complaining. At a certain point, I was tuning that shit out while I was watching it.
Yeah, it was like that, and nobody debates. Like, bitch, you don't fucking debate. When did she ever fucking have a debate stream, dude? Like, it's dumb, dude.
I think there's certain tones or key phrases when I'm talking, especially to ladies, that I'll just tune out. Stop listening.
Yeah. And then Ichabod, who was one at the end that you kind of forgot about. Ichabod Orange, I think it is.
Yeah, he was on the end,
Yeah, he came on to the Kumite, like basically disowning fucking Liz and Seth, dude. It was funny.
Oh, was that what he was doing?
Yeah. He was basically like, I didn't realize it, but I don't, you know, what they're doing, you know. He's like, you know, at what point do you, stop backing up your friends and start being a little skeptical? And he's like, kind of realized that, like, he needed to get the fuck away from them. You know, which I think almost everybody has. Yeah.
Good for him. It's good when you can recognize that people are just not good people to be in your life.
Yeah. I really thought Liz would realize it by now. Like, I was fortunate enough to basically almost as soon as I became aware of Zeph, I saw how duplicitous and two-faced he was. Because if I hadn't caught that early on, maybe I'd be fooled by the fucking guy too. But I was like, okay, she's got to realize it pretty quick. And then no, she went the other way with it.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah, although I do kind of, I don't know if we spend a lot of time on this, but psychoanalyzing Liz, but she does seem like somebody that's incredibly insecure and gets incredibly lonely, and is just kind of grasping onto any person that is willing to fuck her, I guess.
She seems like somebody who does a lot of drugs.
Yeah.
She claims not to. And it's an illness, and I'm sure part of it is. But man, I'm sorry. If it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, and talks like a duck,
right.
At a certain point, you got to be like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a fucking duck.
Yeah. You know what's weird is Satyr Cat, who's her soon-to-be ex-husband, was like defending her for a while. Like after she had already said Zeph was her boyfriend and shit. I think he's still living there with her.
Wasn't he fucking the tranny that was living with him?
Yeah, what's her name? Sevi?
Yeah. The crazy tranny who was like scheming people for money.
Yeah, that whole fucking situation is just goddamn weird, dude. Yeah, yeah. Anything involved with them, I guess. That's why, dude. Yeah, I think Tagasa on them basically named their whole little group the fucking trailer park, which is so goddamn perfect.
That actually, you know what? Usually, I'm not a fan, but I got to say that is extremely fair. That is an accurate
fucking
statement.
Yeah, so right on, dude. Yeah.
Oh,
but they will fucking a lot of times they're watching whether it's Tagasa, probably Failure too. I haven't followed Failure in forever, but
well, you know, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people who will watch streams in order to try to find, catch people talking trash about other people so that they can report it back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yobi is the main one.
I think in that case probably.
Yeah, it was Sinatra's stream. Who I don't know if you're familiar with Sinatra Says, but he's actually all right. I like him. Basically, one of the girls that was on there, like they had said something. I can't remember what it was about, but she got a fucking something on Twitter, like almost immediately, and they're like, "Oh, this fucking Yobi's watching the stream. He's commenting on Twitter about it, not on the stream itself." But like he's fucking, sending a message to her on Twitter about exactly what they're talking about. So they just hang out incognito in the streams, dude, and just like you said, just looking for something to get fucking spurg out about.
Well, it's like so I was when I went on that big long tirade, really trashing Tonka and Failure and Vamp. Mm-hmm. At one point, Thrax was in the chat, and I think he's the one that like brought him over.
No, gotcha.
Yeah, and then like he talked to me on Twitter, and I'm pretty sure he was just like forwarding everything I was saying like to him all the way over, which is what I assumed was happening in the first place.
Yeah, Thrax was doing that.
Thrax, I'm pretty sure, because at the point he was super like, just like Failure is the best, and he just seems like the kind of guy who do that. Like, to be honest, I don't have anything against him. Like,
it might be.
I don't care. No, I don't.
He seems like a pretty intense guy and a really loyal guy. So yeah, you could be right. Yeah.
Although let me be clear, I don't care, because there's not a damn thing I'll say to him in private that I wouldn't say in public.
Right. Yeah. Although I did kind of feel bad for him because he kind of got caught in the middle because he was a super hot, super hardcore Liz fan and a fucking Failure / Tonkasaw fan. He did kind of get caught in the middle.
Yeah. Oh well, weird shit that happens. Oh, on an entirely different point, but on one that I think is pretty damn good news, because there's also another Supreme Court story. But the Supreme Court finally completely went with Trump's ban.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I saw that, dude.
Exciting. I was like, yes, finally, because it was so ridiculous that it had ever gotten stopped in the first place.
Yeah, 7-2, which nobody expected. I believe, from what I understand, nobody expected.
Well, considering it's written directly in the Constitution, and it's not remotely difficult to figure out what they mean when they said it. Yeah, like the only way any other court could have come to any other conclusion is by intentionally misinterpreting the Constitution. Mm-hmm. Like it just doesn't work any other way.
Right. Yeah.
But it's the cake maker too. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I never. Yeah, that one's kind of iffy, but I kind of think they should have the freedom to do that. But I don't know why you would. Like, how can you be that hardcore Christian?
Well, somebody made an interesting point to me. Or it's not to me, but on Twitter that I was watching. And what they were saying was, what if it was the gas station and all the gas stations decided they weren't selling gas to gay people? Like, at what point do you have to draw that line?
Yeah, it is interesting, dude.
And granted, the wedding cake clearly is not a necessity. Right. And they're only, one shop doing it. So there's plenty of other places they can go. But like, what if it was all the wedding shops? Like, it's a tough call. I think at the end of the day, you kind of have to side with personal freedom and be like, the guy has the right not to do what take your business,
Yeah, if he feels it's morally wrong, as ridiculous as that may seem to everybody, I can kind of see that. And again, what if gas station? That's not going to happen. You know what I mean?
Well, and then the other thing is, apparently, it's not that he doesn't make cakes for gay people. It's that he doesn't do cakes for any religious ceremonies that aren't Christian.
Gotcha.
So if you were to go in and ask for like a Ramadan cake, he wouldn't do it either.
Yeah. Well, at least he's consistent in his fucking zealotry. But yeah, like I said, it's not likely that all cake makers or all fucking gas stations or whatever are gonna ever say no, we're not selling anything to gay people. But it is and again, it's not like they're getting fucking gay gas. Like, what the fuck? You're gonna ask everybody if they're gay or not at a fucking gas station?
Well, I'm saying it is a bit of a reductio ad absurdum, to be fair, but it is also like, I mean, there's, you do have to draw a line at some point and say like one way or the other. Oh, did you see this guy? All right, well, let's see. Oh, here it is. This was fucking funny right here. This one is just a crazy, bizarre one. I love this shit. Oh, if I can ever get to the fucking thing. Here we go.
Yeah, quit hyping it and fucking show it, dude.
So apparently there's a sociology professor at the U of California who told his students that he would never debate Ben Shiro, but he wants to fight him.
Enjoy ripping this fool's shoulder out of his socket? Jesus,
yep.
Dude.
Like in an MMA, some sort of an MMA thing between me and him. And I'm just like, what? Like, first of all, how brave. You're going to go fight the tiny Jew.
All right.
Like not for nothing, but Ben Shapiro does not look like a fighter. Like, I'm sure he could scrap, but not really.
Yeah, it's not like he's fucking training Krav Maga or whatever the fucking shit is that Jewish people do. Or the Jewish Special Forces guys. Yeah.
And he's also going with the fascist thing. They're fascists. Dude. Like, I don't think you understand what fascist means.
Right. Yeah, the guy
like somebody was it was the call-in show for that Matt Christensen fella. Him and the blonde lady.
Right.
And somebody was talking about, well, can you just what do you call it? Shoot people who are trying to cross the border illegally? And it's like, well, yeah, of course. I don't see anything wrong with that. Like, if that's what you want to do, as long as it's clear, like, I wouldn't escalate directly to that.
Right.
Like, you start with like the wall, and then you enforce the borders more and more stringently, and eventually you make it clear. I would make an announcement like, we will fire upon anybody attempting to enter the country illegally or something.
Yeah, put some
and somebody was calling me every so often, and I'm like, do you not fucking know what the word means? Like,
yeah, people are invading your country. Like, you got to be able to deter that, or should be able to.
It may be,
but no, everybody should be able to come in illegally. That's their fucking attitude.
It may be an extreme response and not one that I would necessarily choose, at least definitely not to start with.
Yeah. It should only be if they're fucking armed and you fucking have to, in my opinion.
Yeah. There's circumstances under which it's clearly the best decision in order to keep your own people safe.
Yeah, especially since Border Patrol guards have been killed. Have been fucking assaulted and killed.
Considering they don't have a right to come here in the first place, and they know that we don't want them here.
Right. Well, some people do. Yeah, they're our guests. Like I said, I'm here in Maricopa County. They fucking smeared Joe Arpaio right before the last election, got him fucking out. That fucking guy that replaced him refers to the illegal immigrants as our guests.
Which is why he should lose his job.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. Like,
you shouldn't be able to hold a job if you literally are talking about people who are committing crimes and going, oh, no, they're not really criminals.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't be able to be a police officer or represent the police in any way, shape, or form. If you can't accept it, like, you have to enforce all the laws.
I really am curious if there are any countries out there that have the same immigration policy as these people seem to want to have. Where, hey, just come in illegally. It doesn't matter.
Germany, France, the UK.
Yeah. Well, now, for Muslims, I guess, or not Muslims.
No, I mean, it wasn't. They were just letting everybody in, like Germany and France, especially.
Yeah.
They were just letting everybody in. They weren't really even making sure they were refugees or even Muslim. It was just whoever wants to come in can come in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I assume they were still processing them to some degree, right? Like they must have had to.
If you look at some of the video, man, people were just charging across in mass.
Not sure.
They're not really doing anything to stop them.
Yeesh, I guess, dude.
Because we're talking about
I guess that actually
people crossing at one spot all together in like a big group. They try to stop some of them, but
Yeah, you just can't. There's just too many.
Without literally having like a military response, you can't handle that group of people with like police.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And again, what's going on in those countries kind of shows that that's not a good idea, in my opinion. Those places are getting fucking taken over, dude. There's little fucking Muslim enclaves throughout the fucking,
if I were the people in charge of those countries, I would literally just get the military, round them up, and deport them.
Yeah.
And I would just be deporting millions of people.
Yeah, to have no-go zones in your own country where they're doing their own little Sharia law.
And any response, I would consider, I would say, feel free to shoot to kill.
Mm-hmm.
Any objections? It's like, all right, shoot to kill.
Yeah, it's insane.
I'm not going to tolerate. I would never tolerate that level of destruction to my own people in my own country. Like that's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, it's nuts, man. That's how they're gonna end up taking over, dude.
And let me be clear. I'm sure that's a fascist response, but sometimes that's the only option you have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're going to be, again, it's going to take a while, although maybe not as long as I'm hoping, but those are going to be Muslim majority countries eventually, dude.
Yeah.
Because again, this is what Islam has done since it fucking started, dude. Or since he became a warlord, I guess. Well, actually, no, since it started. They come in as when they're the minority, they're the peace and love people, and Islam's a religion of peace. Then when they get the numbers, that's when the heavy-handed shit comes in.
I think at some point, the few countries that aren't Islamic are really going to have to band together and just wipe them out.
Yeah.
We're going to have to like sneak nukes in or something or whatever and literally just wipe out these groups.
Yeah. It's like amazing.
People on the planet are these fucking insane suicide fucking like lemmings rushing towards fucking Armageddon because they think it's going to be like a holy day.
Yeah.
They're all going to go to heaven. It's like that's clearly not going to happen. So
yeah. No, it seems really insane, dude. That whole fucking ideology. Because in my opinion, I don't see it as. I think religion is a far distant concern for them. It's really, again, an ideology and a system of control framed as religion.
Yeah.
It's so many fucking aspects of your life that fucking Islam wants to control, dude. It's really fucking crazy, dude.
No, I mean, like what you're allowed to eat, what you're allowed to, how you're allowed to get married, what you're allowed to do, like out on the street when you're walking around. It's insane.
Yeah, it's incredibly restrictive. Again, religion is it's framed as religion because that's the most effective way to control people.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way it seems to me. I don't think I'm alone on that.
Well, Islam is a natural progression of like essentially having like a very small elite rich group of people run everything.
Yeah.
If you're a poor dude, you can't even get married. Like you may never get to fuck a woman. Wow. In those countries. That's part of what some of the issue is with a lot of the rape culture is that there's a lot of dudes that will never get laid.
Right.
Because the rich people literally buy and own most of the women.
Yeah.
That's why they have multiple wives, is to keep the poor people from having any. I don't know why, but that's what they do. Because if you can't support a wife, you can't have one, and you have to buy them from other people.
Yeah, and again, that's why the religion or the Islam is so effective. Is again, you're indoctrinated into this thing that's, again, supposed to be religion, but it's really just control. And because, again, that's a lot of fucking people that have got to be incredibly sexually frustrated and just frustrated economically in a lot of ways.
How do you think that it's so easy to get so many suicide bombers?
Yeah, they got nothing.
People that have never had a woman probably will never be able to. Suddenly you tell them, hey, look, man, you go blow yourself up. 71 bitches be waiting for you.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely got to seem appealing because it seems, it's got to almost appear like you're in fucking hell on earth anyway, living through that kind of fucking poverty and fucking.
You know what? I'm sure that it just becomes the norm.
Yeah.
In all honesty, like I'm sure people are just used to it. Like that's just they grow up in it. I doubt it's like some sort of terrible thing for the majority of men. Like for the women, probably it is, but that's because they're being abused all the time. But the men have a lot of rights. Like they can go and smoke up their fucking crazy shit in the fucking smoke shops, and it's pretty permissive, man. Like I was listening to the thing a guy was talking about. He got busted drunk driving, and they just like gave him like 6 lashes.
Wow.
So he didn't even do like jail time or pay any fines. He literally just got whipped 6 times and was sent on his way.
Yeah. Although I still think it's incredible. Well, compared to like here, it is still incredibly restrictive and oppressive, men. But women have it much worse.
Yeah.
Women still have
the majority of
much worse.
The upper class and middle class guys. It's really not restricted for them. Like there's a few rules, but other than that, they can do pretty much whatever they want.
Yeah.
Like if you seen like how they drive and shit, they they have crazy guns and just go out in the fucking, they can go out and throw grenades in the desert whenever they feel like it and shit. Like it's not really that restricted for dudes.
Right. I gotcha. Plus, if you can afford a trip to Bahrain, you can do whatever the fuck you want over there. Yep, that fucking cracks me up, dude. The fact that they have these fucking loopholes of, hey, Allah I can't see because of that big mountain over there. So if you're in Bahrain, you can do whatever you want, and you're fine.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah, it's fucking like, how do you have that kind of fucking loophole? It's really mind-boggling, man. There's all kinds of fucking loopholes, dude.
I thought this was kind of funny. So there's that senator who's pushing to have the vote now for Trump impeachment.
Oh, Jesus, dude.
But they've already had the vote at one point. So they've already tried to do it before. And it lost 364 to 58. And I guess he's trying to do it again, essentially, because it happened a few weeks ago.
Wow.
It just was never really reported. Oh, no, this is on the 5th, I think this happened, because I saw this yesterday.
November 5th? Or
5th, they tried to vote it through and failed.
You're talking about November or December?
December.
Okay. All right. So just a couple days ago. Okay.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, no, it was in October.
All right. So, yeah, that's weird. I never heard about that shit.
I'm not sure. It might not have been. October was when he tried to force it, and they made him table it, and then he brought it back up again in either November or December. And then it just like, they keep doing it over and over, and it's like, no, they're not just going to vote the guy out because they don't like him. Like, that's not, nobody wants to
what are the fucking grounds that they're coming up with for what he's done that is so horrible that he needs to be impeached?
They don't have
what do they fucking say? Well, that's
to be fair. Okay, so the way impeachment works is they really don't need any sort of evidence that the person's broken the law or anything like that. Though that would make it easier. It's just that Congress feels that the person isn't right for being the president. Like they feel like they're the wrong person for the job, and they should have a reason, but it's fairly vague.
But
the part that really weird to me is it's like people don't seem to fucking understand that if Trump is impeached, Pence becomes president.
Yeah, I really think that's a big reason why he took him. Well, one, so he can fucking appear more Christian, I think. And the threat of having a guy that's hardcore Christian replacing him is a reason that he should, again, not be impeached. Well, this is the problem with a lot of the leftists is they don't think anything through. They don't fucking play the tape ahead and look at what would happen. They don't look at the results of their actions. They don't consider it at all. That's why they can fucking be Marxists and communists, or fucking any of this shit. It's because they don't like them. I want them out. And they don't think about what that means. The fact that
because the next time the Democrat wins, the Republicans will just we don't like him. Done.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like you can't set a precedent like that. That's a really terrible plan.
Yeah,
and I think that's one of the reasons why the 25th Amendment was put in place, where it's like, you know what, we really want to make sure that Congress doesn't just like, we don't like this guy, let's get rid of him and put somebody else in place. We want to make sure the vice president takes the job so that the same party is still in control. So it's not an attractive political move for a party.
Yeah. What is the criteria for impeachment? Is it a simple majority in the House and like a 2/3 majority in the Senate?
Oh, let me see what we got here. I can look that up because we have Google.
Yeah, I guess I could have done that myself, but it sounds like a lot of work. I'll let you do it. Do all the heavy lifting.
Yeah, the heavy lifting of like typing.
It can't be just a simple. I think it is in the House, but I don't think it's a simple majority for impeachment in the Senate. It's got to be at least 2/3, if not 3/4.
So it's a enumerated power of the legislature that allows formal charges to be brought against a civil officer of government for crimes alleged to have been committed. Most impeachments have involved crimes that have been committed while in office. Although obviously for Nixon, it would be, crimes committed before office. So it looks like the Senate or the House of Representatives can start it.
Right. It has to pass both, though, right? I mean, it would be weird to start in the Senate and then have to go to the House, but...
Well, it looks like either way it has to go through both, yeah. Oh, no, so first it goes through the House of Rep, then it goes through the Senate.
Yeah, I thought so.
Let's see. Oh, there's a list of people that have been impeached. United States Senator William Blount for conspiring to assist British in capturing Spanish territory.
Yeah, that was recent.
This is a really long list. It's got 19 people. There's a judge making false financial disclosures. Judge Thomas Porteous of Eastern District of Louisiana. So it looks like some of them
has to start with. Let's see. It has to start with the House Judiciary Committee. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm trying to find it here now. Let's see. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Let's see. 40 members in there.
Oh, it's a simple majority in the House.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right. Senate trial.
So then in the Senate, essentially, they have an actual trial.
All right. Yeah, and you need 2/3. You need 67. Yeah, it looks like
67% of the Senate, because that would be
67 senators. Yeah, which is again it's 100, right? So it'd be whether it's percent or senators, it's going to be the same number. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Impeachment part.
So it would essentially be like it's not a simple majority because that would be 51. So it would be. Do they just call it a 2/3 majority, or is it like something else? Because there's like a
2/3 vote among the hundreds, which is 67.
I think that's also called a supermajority, or is that something different? Because I remember that was a big issue for like Florida for legalizing weed and stuff.
I think it's absolute. I think it's called absolute majority, but maybe not.
Is that what it is?
I'm guessing, dude. Yeah. Let me see. Let me look that up.
Either way, it'd be pretty hard to do.
All right.
And essentially, like one of the things that a lot of the people are talking about in the Congress people are talking about is if Roy Moore wins, they want to start basically setting up for an impeachment to have him removed.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't think would be effective either unless he decides to step down as opposed to face Trump.
Yeah. It seems like it's not all that easy. Like again, it happened with Clinton, right? Like, you have the one of the
they moved to impeach him, and the trial started, but he won.
Right.
He was acquitted.
That's what I'm saying. That process, it passed through the House, and then it went to the Senate. And I think what I was reading is there's a Supreme Court justice. I don't know if it has to be the Chief Justice or not. I assume it would be. The Chief Justice of the Supreme Court has to preside over it. And again, you need the 2/3, 67 senators, percent, whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not a bad way to go because you should have ways to remove anybody from office. I think I think there are no ways to remove the Supreme Court justices from office short of death, which I think is probably one of the bigger problems.
Yeah, yeah.
Judges should be able to be removed from office much simpler. It should be a lot easier to get them removed.
Yeah,
and there should be term limits. Like there shouldn't be a lifetime appointment anywhere in the government.
Yeah, I kind of get it, but yeah, it's.
No, I'm sorry, man. You can't have like somebody who's like on death's door and barely fucking capable of parsing English anymore because they're fucking dementia ridden and nobody can remove them from office.
Yeah, no, they should definitely have some kind of fitness requirement. Mental and well, not physical. Who gives a shit? But like some kind of mental.
And if you want to make it like a super long term for the Supreme Court, fine, like 15 years, sure. But I just don't think like the lifetime appointment makes sense to me.
Yeah. No, like you said, if they're starting to lose it, because the lifetime thing is a little weird. Actually, again, I'd be kind of okay with the lifetime thing, but again, like you said, as long as it had. Like if somebody's fucking losing it, they should have to pass some kind of basic test to make sure they're not fucking senile or they're not suffering from dementia.
See, my problem is we've had so much political gerrymandering essentially of the Supreme Court that it's become a political body that, and in a lot of cases, legislates from the bench and isn't even really determining law anymore.
Yeah. Although that's happening everywhere in the fucking judicial system now.
The higher courts reflect the lower courts. I think the lower courts are reflecting how bad the higher courts got. So, you start at the top and work your way down and restructuring that part, I think, is the best way to go.
Yeah, it's all
like I want, the federal, government, the senators and the representatives to have term limits, like that they can only run for 2 terms and then they're done.
They did that for a while. Do you remember that? It was back in the 90s, I think. They temporarily had the term limit thing, and then they did away with it.
Yeah, it needs to be put into like a constitutional amendment so that it's harder to get rid of because it's super, super easy to get rid of it. It's just a federal law.
Yeah, and like I said, I think it only lasted a few years. And even that law, all it really was you could still serve. You could still go back to the House for 1 term, or it would be 3 terms in the House, I guess. But like if you're in the Senate for 2 terms, you'd go serve in the House for 6 years until another term came up, and you could go right back to the Senate.
So, yeah, if we set it up so you could either be one or the other, but only for like 2 terms, period. Like you could only serve in Congress for 2 terms, period. That would be the way to go, I think.
Yeah. Well, that's a little tougher because again, the House terms are only 2 years, and the Senate terms are
you would adjust it so that they're the same terms. Yeah, obviously. Just make them both.
Yeah, maybe just meet in the middle, make it 4 years.
Yeah, just make both of them 4, and you can only serve for a total of 8 years, regardless. And then,
yeah,
my brain just froze. And then if it's a constitutional amendment, it's much harder to get rid of. And then it might be more likely to get adopted by states, stuff like that. Like it would take a while, but it would eventually bleed down to the states,
right,
or state congresses.
Yeah,
but I mean, look at like Nancy Pelosi. Like, how long has she served? And she's out of her fucking mind.
Right.
Like they passed a reciprocity bill for concealed carry. So if you have concealed carry in Texas, you can conceal carry in any state of the union. They can't have different rules in different states for that.
Right.
So, if they can't, it's essentially one of the big problems is like in Texas, it's much more reasonable if you want to get a concealed carry permit. You just have to be a law-abiding citizen who wants to have a gun and carry it concealed and take classes so that like when you can and can't use your gun, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure you have to do that in Texas, to be honest. Mad Metal might be able to weigh in on that, but it's much simpler to get a concealed carry permit in Texas than it is in, like, say, California. California has a restriction that you have to have a reason that they judge to be worthy, which is completely, against the Second Amendment.
Yeah.
But if you were to get your permit in Texas and be traveling here on business, California can't then make you not carry your gun concealed and like put you in jail for it and charge you with like felonies and stuff.
Right.
Which was a serious issue.
Yeah, no, that's.
I mean, there's a lot of people who are employed as like truckers and stuff.
Yeah, you're going state to state. You don't have to fucking worry about the fucking gun laws in every fucking state you're driving through and what's different about them. Yeah,
that was a big problem for like truckers and stuff because there's a lot of places where they got to park, man. Where I got to tell you, I think they probably should have a concealed fucking pistol,
right?
Just to be safe.
No, it's what my I don't know. I don't think my dad. Yeah, my dad had to. My dad was a truck driver for that's what he did basically.
Oh yeah,
sure. He had because he had a lot of
work,
guns.
Man.
Yeah. Although I can see the appeal of it. If you're a little if you enjoy your fucking alone time. You know what I mean? Like I can see that because I like to go on through a time where I'm not really interacting with people. So
10 million total people are employed by the trucking industry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's a pretty big group of people, and that's just one group of people. There's lots of people that travel for business.
Right.
And I feel like, and if you're not a criminal, you should be able to have a gun hidden on your person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, unless there's some reason not to.
I don't feel like I'm in danger because like the guy at the grocery store is strapped.
Right.
The guy that's running the fucking convenience store. I feel like, yeah, dude, people rob those things all the fucking time. Maybe he should be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and again, it's the more people are armed, the less likely people are to pull out guns.
Mm-hmm.
Again, there's going to be some people that are just fucking insane hotheads that would fucking pull a gun out over a stupid little argument. But again, those people, the first time they do
are rather quickly going to end up in prison,
Yeah, but again, somebody might end up getting harmed before, them going to prison. But, I think, again, with the exceptions of, serious mental illness where it's a danger or, for those type of reasons, or again, showing a violent criminal history.
The argument you're addressing is people talking about, well, it'll be like the Old West where people are getting shot left and right.
Yeah, no, it won't.
And obviously that's, I think a lot of people that make that kind of argument where it's all going to go crazy. It's all going to go downhill. The laws were completely different back then. So legit, if somebody cheated you in cards, it was okay for you to shoot them. That wasn't illegal. Right. They really didn't have the kind of laws that we do now.
Yeah.
I mean, you could fucking okay, but nobody was going to try to arrest you.
Yeah, you could have a fucking shootout. Or a fucking, drawing your weapons, duel, whatever the fuck you want to call it. That shit was acceptable, dude.
Oh, yeah. I mean, dueling with pistols was acceptable for a really long time, too. But, I mean, also, like, if you're at the bar and hanging out with your buddies and somebody said your mom was a whore, you could shoot that man dead, and people would be like, well, he shouldn't have fucking said that.
Right. Yeah, we're a little more... we're a little more civilized, dude.
Yeah, we have a whole bunch of different laws now that are actually enforced, and we have like a police force that's nationwide to enforce them. It's just a hugely different ballgame.
Yeah, it's not like I do kind of view again, and I'm in Arizona, and in a lot of ways it is still similar to the Old West, but not really. Like I said, we still like our guns, and like I said, First and Second Amendments are fucking huge here. But
I'd rather deal with that kind of risk than deal with the risk of the government being the only ones that have guns.
Yeah. No, that's just asking to be to turn the country totalitarian and taking the fucking guns away.
Yeah.
Like it's already kind of run by fucking corporations essentially. Have a vast amount of influence. But yeah, if you fucking take everybody's guns away, it'll never happen here. It just won't, dude. I cannot see it possibly happening here without a tremendous fight and a tremendous amount of loss of life.
Oh no, it's never going to happen. I think it's just going to be like inches and inches, like in places like California for the most part.
Right.
Like Texas is probably never going to have that restrictive of gun laws.
Right. Yeah.
California at this point, it's not going to be too long before California's gun laws get smacked down.
Yeah.
Because essentially it's illegal to carry a gun outside, and that's clearly like in violation.
Yeah, that's definitely a violation of the Second Amendment. I'm surprised it hasn't been tested yet. I don't know if they're waiting for it to get crazier or more restrictive or what, but it seems like that should be struck down already.
Yeah. Well, what is it? California just recently. Oh, here we go. I'll put this up because California is getting more and more permissive. California just recently made it so being a communist would no longer be a cause for losing a state job.
Wow, it was approved. Yeah.
I kind of feel like it really should be.
Nah.
Like, I'm sorry, but communism is just too dangerous. Like, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Just everywhere that it's happened, hundreds of millions of people die. It's like I don't know.
And I get it, but
it is kind of like a thought crime. I get why they did it.
Yeah, but it's just fucking.
It wasn't even enforced, but I mean, nonetheless, it's just like
it's a unique one. I'm surprised that people that are openly communists get elected.
Well, in that case, it's just having a state job. So working for like
gotcha.
The road crews and stuff like that, or working in the DMV. No, wait, the DMV is a different thing, but like that kind of. Essentially, you work.
It's not just elected
postal workers.
It's anybody working for the government. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess. Weird.
Yeah. Well, and then you heard that. What is it, the Philadelphia thing, right? Where they're trying to get outlaw bulletproof glass.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, it's a real weird one. It's convenience stores in Philadelphia are essentially. It looks like it's going to happen. The more I've seen about it, so I think there's some new stuff just out today. But essentially, they're going to create a time frame in which all of these stores, the stop and go specifically, is the one they're citing, have to remove bulletproof glass from their stores.
What's the reasoning?
Well, because it makes people feel bad. It's not nice.
What the fuck, dude?
But and here's the thing, that's just a blatantly unconstitutional act. It really isn't up to the government to decide who gets to put bulletproof glass in their store. Like, that's a silly fucking thing. It's like saying you're not allowed to put bulletproof glass in your windows. It's like, why would you not be allowed? That doesn't make sense. You're not harming anybody.
Yeah, no, that's their fucking. Oh my god, dude. That's fucking feelings, dude. It's too much, man.
Yeah, it's so bizarre.
Yeah, people feel like they're in a bad neighborhood if there's bulletproof glass. Well, they fucking probably are in a bad neighborhood.
Yeah.
I would rather them go the other way and fucking require that all convenience stores have it. Like now it's in all neighborhood.
I know. I used to work at a gas station, 24-hour gas station, and I would have felt much more comfortable at night if people weren't allowed to come in the store, or they had a bulletproof glass between me and the rest of the store, so that when people were there, I didn't have to worry.
Yeah. Actually, I noticed in LA, man, almost all of the ones that I went into, and maybe I was just happened to be in shitty neighborhoods, but all the ones I went into had fucking bulletproof glass, dude. You had to slide.
It's a simple equation, right? You pay a couple of grand. You put in bulletproof glass so that your people are safe. You never have to worry about them suing you. You never have to worry about being robbed because they're not going to take your cash from behind the register. Because maybe your clerk is on top of the ball and he makes sure there's only ever $20 in the register, but likely not.
Yeah, exactly.
Most of the time, you're going to have a couple $100 in the register and loose change. That's just how it works, especially if it's a busy time of the day. But it's like you just it's a couple of grand and you save yourself so much money and just not having to deal with a lot of problems.
Yeah. I don't know why they would go with the no, nobody can have it. Again, if you're gonna go some way, make every one of them have it, dude.
Like I said, if Stop and Go, because Stop and Go is clearly a fairly big company, if they have any intelligence, they'll challenge it.
Right.
Like
okay. I thought the Stop and Go. I didn't realize that was a company. I thought that was just what they were doing as a catch-all for all convenience stores.
No, they're calling it the Stop and Go because that's who they're targeting for the most part.
Okay.
Because apparently Stop and Go for all of their stores in Philadelphia, regardless, just has bulletproof glass.
No, I gotcha. Mad Metal Man, stop and rob.
Yeah. Well, and then here's the thing. You know, like people make a joke, but even in my town where it's relatively, we really don't have a ton of crime. The gas station across the street from where I worked had been robbed like 3 or 4 times.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And they still didn't have a safe. And that's why, it's because they didn't have a safe.
Yeah.
They would legitimately just keep all their cash all day long and run 24 hours a day to compete with my station. Mm-hmm. Not my station, the one I worked at.
Right.
And they would just keep all their cash in just a box under the counter.
Yeah, damn, dude. Yeah. Yeah, you let word get out about something like that and you are going to have problems for fucking ever, dude.
I mean, I gotta say, I consider it. No, just kidding.
Damn. I only ever considered robbing pharmacies back in my fucking active addiction
I just thought, you know, I'm across the street already. I just put up the sign that says I'm in the bathroom. You know, put on a mask, run across the street, rob the place, run back across the street. No worries, man. It's like it's super easy. It's so convenient.
Yeah, especially have that much cash around. Fuck it, you know.
Who's going to suspect that you got robbed by the gas station across the street?
Right.
You know, the cops are going to be looking for somebody way, way further away at that point.
Yeah. This fucking guy. Yeah. Did you see anything? No. I think I was in the bathroom at the time. I don't know.
I was in the bathroom, man. Oh, man. You know what's really funny is you technically weren't supposed to go to the bathroom where I worked because it was graveyard shift and you were the only guy on. They were like, well, you're not supposed to lock the doors, but here's the key in case of.
Yeah.
And it's like, if I'm here for 8 hours, you can't legally require me not to lock the doors and never use the bathroom. Like, that's just never going to happen.
Yeah, no, that's fucking ridiculous, dude. Yeah.
Oh, but the customers would get so mad.
Really?
Like, invariably, like, you know, at some point in the night, you got to take a shit.
Right.
Like, all right, that's 5-10 minutes. You know, you go and you just take a shit and you get out. You don't sit there with like a book or whatever. Like maybe you do at your own house or because you're working and whatever. You don't want
to. Yeah, it's not a leisurely shit. It's a you know,
it's a stop, drop, and go kind of thing. You know,
right.
A stop, drop, and roll. There you go. But they'd invariably be all upset. Like, well, I fucking closed. You're 24 hours. I'm like, look, man, I was in the bathroom. I was in the bathroom for like 10 minutes. Get over it.
Yeah, complain to fucking HQ about it if you want, and tell them to have a second person here or something.
Yeah.
But other than that, shut the fuck up.
Oh well, you know, one of the few things. So my boss is crazy at that place, right? Like he'd literally get on your case and start giving you a lecture because you didn't have all the products front end and face because somebody just bought something. Like while they were in the process of buying it, he would already be lecturing you about not having somehow managed to, you know, pull the candy bar behind that one out.
Oh, God.
It was towards the front of the shelf.
Jesus.
Literally, I've had that happen. Like while the person's buying the candy bar, and the person buying the candy bar is just looking at him like is this
like
a joke? Where's the hidden camera? This guy's out of his goddamn mind.
Right. Yeah, you should be fucking scurrying around. You know, as soon as that customer picks it up, I want you to sprint out there.
Before I check them out, I should have done that. Apparently.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Apparently, I'm supposed to follow people around,
right?
You know, and fucking front and face it after they pick stuff off the shelf because that's not going to be weird.
Yeah. Sorry, I can't ring you up yet. I've got to, you know.
Yeah.
Rotate the stock before you get out of here.
Yeah, exactly. But on the other side of the coin, he would come in anytime, day or night, if somebody called in sick or some shit went down.
Mm-hmm.
Like he would have your back in any situation where the customer is complaining. So it was like this weird sort of dichotomy where like he was super fucking weird and nitpicky about just a couple little things, but he was one of the best bosses I've ever worked for. Like in the respect of like somebody calls in sick and he needs to be there at 3 a.m. He's fucking there in like 10 minutes.
So he's a little anal retentive, but overall a good guy.
Oh yeah, super nice guy. Dude gave me like a couple of huge boxes of books. Like when I left there, like he literally just like, hey, I saw you like to read, so why don't you take these books I'm getting rid of? And it was like the whole series. I forget what series it was, but it was pretty good stuff. It wasn't like shitty. Yeah, I mean he's just a super sweet dude.
Yeah, just a little weird about the stock shit.
That was so funny. Well, he was an ex-Marine, so I kind of always wondered if that was part of it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
And to be fair, some of the employees there were fucking slackers. Yeah, I don't blame them. It was shit pay for shit work, so.
Right.
You're going to get what you pay for. You pay like, $10 an hour and nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah, it's tough to give a shit when you're not getting paid that much. Especially when those places are probably fucking just cleaning up, as far as making a profit.
Well, and then keep in mind, in California, $10 an hour is probably equivalent to $7 anywhere else.
Yeah.
When it comes to cost of living. So I'm sure there's a lot of places where people are like, $10 an hour, man, I wish I made that. But when you compare it to cost of living in California, really, it's more like $7 in a lot of other places.
Yeah, no, I noticed that, like especially down in San Diego, like near the beach. Like I'd go into a Wendy's or something, and everything was like every item or like every combo meal was at least 50 cents more than it was back home.
Yeah. Oh yeah, in California, I think the minimum wage you need to be making per hour to really live on your own is like $15 to $20 an hour. In most areas.
Yeah, no doubt.
And in places like San Francisco, you're looking at $25-$30 an hour, just bare minimum what you really need to be able to live there.
Yeah, the fucking real estate prices alone are fucking astronomical.
Oh, and so I went to San Francisco one time with a buddy of mine, and she and I stayed at her friend's place, right? So we crashed out on this chick's floor, and she lived in like a closet.
Oh, God.
It was like, like those closets, the walk-in ones where you can get dressed. Like she lived in one of those. So like her and my friend, they slept up in her like loft bed that she like installed. It was like it wasn't attached to the wall. It was like a bunk bed, but with no bottom essentially.
Oh, gotcha.
And so then I had a mattress that I rolled out and inflated on the floor of her closet essentially that she lived in as a bedroom. Yeah. And like 3 people lived in this place. All 3 of them lived in essentially what are closets. Jesus, and then the living room and bathrooms were the size of your actual closet. It was like,
right.
And then the fucking kitchen was maybe a total of 10 or 12 square feet. I mean, it was just enough for like a stove and like a TV tray.
Yeah. And I'm imagining the fucking rent they paid for that shitty little thing is probably more than I've paid for rent anywhere I've fucking lived.
It was probably somewhere around $3,000 to $4,000 a month.
Yeah, it could be that high. I was thinking high, but I wasn't thinking that high. Yeah, no, it wouldn't be
for a 4-bedroom place.
Oh, okay. I was talking about the individual.
Oh, each. No, like all together.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For the whole house. Yeah, that's fucking. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I remember hearing a story. I knew my friend's mom was a nurse, and they had gone to San Francisco or whatever on vacation, and she happened to run into another nurse there, and that nurse was actually staying at like a hostel, like just a fucking cot at a hostel. Because the prices there are so outrageous, and nurses make a good fucking living, dude. Mm-hmm. Like it's $30, $40, $50 an hour. Like they're making a decent living, and I was like, holy shit, dude! This fucking nurse can still not really afford the shit and is staying in a fucking hostel. I'm like, that's insane.
Well, one of the things that gets crazy is there's certain kinds of jobs like police and firemen where they actually require the city to pay them like way way higher wages because they have to be legally able to live in the area they patrol.
Yeah, that's good, dude.
So it's like it's part of the law, I guess. Like they literally are like, no. If the cops are going to be patrolling like Beverly Hills, they have to make enough money that they could live in Beverly Hills.
Oh yeah,
or something like that. It's some weird, crazy shit.
Mm. Yeah, it's not that bad. It is a good idea to fucking have them live in the neighborhood they're patrolling.
Well, I don't know if it's in every state. I know it's in New York, but I don't know if it's in every state.
Right.
But it's just one of those things where it's like, because I mean, like, you know, there was that big old thing with the rent is too goddamn high in New York or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, New York apparently is worse. Like, well, it's worse than like L.A. in that. And I don't know how it is compared to San Francisco, but yeah, like for a shitty little place that's only got like a hot plate, like that's what the kitchen consists of, is a fucking hot plate plugged into the wall. You know, it's like fucking ridiculously like $2,000 a month for a tiny little place that has maybe a toilet and the kitchen is basically a hot plate. You know, it's really fucking crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, or your living room is where the hallway widened out a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's fucking nuts, dude. The things that they end up making, like, this is a studio. Like, man, this is not even a studio apartment. Like, fucking.
It's like a painter would be pissed. Like, a painter would be like, no, this is not large enough to be a studio. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Damn. No, I mean, like a studio, you know what they call a studio apartment. Yeah. Which is essentially there's no actual bedroom, you know? It's just kind of.
No, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Where it's just one big room with like a toilet in the corner.
Yeah, shit that wouldn't even qualify as that, dude. Yeah, although I don't. What is the deal with San Francisco? Like, I get why like L.A., San Diego, especially near the beach and shit, is really expensive.
Consider San Francisco is a city on the beach.
Yeah, but do they have
a long stretch of beach? It's not the nicest coastline. It's not like Southern California.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking.
I don't know. I guess a lot of people want to live there. There's like 4 or 5 schools, and not in San Francisco, but in the general area, there's like 4 or 5 schools easily reachable.
Yeah, like Berkeley and that kind of shit.
Yeah, and then
although I guess it is kind of the financial center, right?
Yeah, I think there's 2 colleges in San Francisco. There's Berkeley, and then there's like a couple of other smaller ones that are in the general area of San Francisco, like in the Bay Area.
Right.
A lot of companies are there because people like San Francisco just to visit. So there's some major companies have offices there.
Yeah, I guess it is a lot older. Like it's been around. Like it was one of the first big, like the first big city there, right? Even more than LA and all that.
So I think so. Yeah, I think San Francisco was founded. Well, let me see. I'm wondering if Sacramento was the first really big one, but.
Yeah. Well, I know. Again, obviously, the gold rush was a big part of that. But that was what 1849 was the gold rush. That's why their fucking team is the 49ers.
Yeah, exactly. It's like 1852 was when they started getting banks. I don't know. It probably was one of the first major cities in California. Definitely.
Yeah. All right.
And the thing about San Francisco that you got to keep in mind is it's relatively small, but a lot of people live there.
Right.
There's a lot of people stacked one on top of the other.
Oh, yeah. Well, what's the main difference between Oakland and San Francisco? I mean, they're both on the bay, right?
Crime. Oakland is just fucking insanely dangerous in comparison.
Yeah, this is what...
There's a lot of really bad, shitty neighborhoods in San Francisco. Like, San Francisco is not fucking sunshine and butterflies in the whole city. There's a lot of real dangerous areas.
Right.
But Oakland is like all of those dangerous areas for the whole city.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I wonder why that happened. Like, why is this area like fucking so desirable? And, Is that it?
I don't know. It could be
the only thing you got. No, I don't know. I guess I've always been fascinated by that fact that San Francisco and Oakland are essentially right next to each other.
It became a cultural center because there's a lot of like theater and stuff like that in there. And so like sort of like the upper class lives there.
Yeah. Okay. So it just kind of happened. There wasn't any real reason behind it. Just shit happens sometimes.
If you've got money in the area where I am, you move to San Francisco.
Right.
You know, or you move further out into the country, into like Napa and stuff like that. Madison County.
Right. Yeah, I guess again, what I'm really kind of thinking about is like, why did it end up like that? Like, I get that that's the way it is now.
Also because a lot of the major companies are in these large cities. They don't have satellite offices in smaller areas. So it's like, you know, if you want to work for like a corporate office in this area, it's likely in San Francisco and not anywhere else. So there's a lot of people that have to live there just for their jobs, and then there's a lot of people that live there for like the theaters and the restaurants and stuff like that.
Right.
And so
any of the arts, any of the performing arts too. Apparently, comedy is huge there. Or was. I don't know.
Comedy was huge. I wouldn't say it's huge anymore. They may have a lot of comedy clubs, but I don't think they're doing comedy anymore.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I think it was back in like the 80s and 90s. Like it was where a lot of people fucking got their start or where they kind of made it. But
I think a lot of the comedy clubs have been converted over to other things. I don't think they do comedy anymore.
Yeah.
I'm sure the comedy clubs that actually do comedy aren't very funny. So
yeah, it's not the main hub that it used to be.
I've seen some of the open mic stuff on YouTube from San Francisco, and it's not real great.
Right.
At all.
Yeah. Not like the good old days, huh?
Certainly not like the 80s and 90s, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's weird. There's places like that used to, Boston, San Francisco used to be huge for comedy, and now it's kind of like, now it's pretty much LA. New York is still big.
Englehart's in the chat. Hey, what's up, man? Englehart?
Hey, buddy. How you feeling? You still sick? You still sick, Englehart?
I never modded Metal Man. I'm a bad person.
Oh. Yeah.
Well, I like to mod everybody because we have so few people. I don't want anybody getting timed out for chatting too much.
No, that's true.
I also like what's his name? Tonka's idea that you just know when somebody new is in the chat.
Oh, right. Yeah, he literally gives everyone a wrench, dude.
Yeah. Well, didn't he run out of wrenches? Is there a max? I would assume there's a max number of wrenches you can have at a certain point.
Yeah, I don't know what he does. It's every time you see somebody new, he pretty much gives them a wrench.
Huh, all right. Fair enough. I would assume you would run out eventually, but
yeah, maybe
not. Again, it's not like he has 1,000 people like some of the shows that I've seen on YouTube, some of the live streams. He only has like 50 or 60. Oh, Madden says there's not a max. I would believe it. I guess you could have everybody have a wrench.
Right.
Yeah. Couldn't hurt. At least then you don't have people abusing and shit like that. That's always good.
Yeah, because he gave me one, and I'm like, why did I get a wrench? Like, does somebody? Because usually the only time I get a wrench is if somebody's timing me out for no good reason. If somebody's like deleting my shit, because I rarely say anything that's truly offensive or fucking over the top.
I do. I say that all the time.
Yeah, well, yours is still at least funny, even if they don't agree with it, right? It's not, your stuff's not generally vicious just to be vicious, right? Is that a fair assessment?
On the channels I like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
When people are saying stuff that's extremely offensive or just really dumb, I absolutely will say incredibly vicious and cruel things.
Yeah. No, actually, I guess I do. Well, I don't know if it'd be vicious or cruel, but I'll definitely say like, holy shit, this is fucking awful. What the fuck is wrong with you people? But
Mama likes to say, like, I'm a petty, vindictive asshole.
But yeah, no, it's pretty rare, but it's when people are timing out people like just for disagreements and shit, like
that's when I get the most vicious.
Yeah. Oh, like after they time you out from shit you shouldn't have been
or if
timed
they're
out
doing
for.
it to other people and stuff like that, then I'll just start ripping them up.
Yeah. All right.
It's never
like because that's what I usually because I didn't know that Tonka just gave everybody wrenches at that time. Yeah. I was like, why the fuck do I have a wrench? Was somebody fucking timing me out? Because that's the thing that sucks about YouTube is you don't know that somebody deleted your fucking comment unless you're constantly logging in and logging back, logging out, logging back in. You don't know that your comment got deleted, which I think is ridiculous, dude.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know if people are responding to my comments or if they even see them on their videos anymore.
Yeah.
I think my comments are like muted as a general thing because I'm really good at trolling.
All right.
And I'm not getting any responses to any of my comments. And some of them are like on small channels where I know the person and I leave them a comment that, usually would get like a thumbs up or like a, hey, thanks, man, that kind of thing,
Yeah. Yeah, they give you the heart. Yeah.
Or some sort of response is generally like, usually you get it. And I'm not getting any response at all. So I have a feeling that a lot of times people just aren't seeing anything I write.
Yeah, it could be. Although, dude, the other day,
the trolling thing, I'm too good of a troll to not get like people all up in a tizzy.
Damn. Yeah. Although the other day, most of the time, or maybe not most of the time, but I will get a notification if somebody, if a YouTube channel, hearts my comment, right?
Or likes it. Even I would get comments. So there's one comment I made that got like thousands and thousands of likes.
Right.
And because it gets that, like it's always at the top, and you tend to get more and more every couple of weeks. You get like a couple more likes, and I'm not even getting notification of that anymore. And I know for a fact that there's definitely people commenting on that still.
Right. Yeah, I'll get. That's the thing. Okay, yeah. So I'll usually if I post something and somebody responds, like I'll get that notification, right? But the other day, a couple days ago, I got a. I posted something on the Poisoning the Well video, and they fucking hearted my comment and responded to it, saying, "Hey, your comment cracked us up," and I didn't get notification for that. Like, it seems like that should have. Again, they gave me the little heart thing and actually responded, and I didn't get any notification. The only reason I saw it is because I actually went into the activity for something. And the only time I go into the activity is usually I have too many of the little number things that pop up, and I just hate that being there. So I'll click over really quick and click back, to clear that out. And that's the only reason I saw it at all, was because of that. But I, didn't get the actual notification on my phone about it. Yeah. I don't know. It was just weird to me, dude.
Yeah, the whole thing is just getting shittier and shittier, and I think it's intentionally done to level the playing field so that they can bring in like the TV channels and let them basically take over.
Yeah, they could have fucking been the ones to destroy the old shit, and they're fucking now lockstep with them, dude.
Well, and they're not going to make anywhere near as much money as they could have made.
Right.
So, I mean, the thing is, it's going to pop up somewhere else. Like, so, like everybody's like, oh no, what's that fucking one that basically went under not that long ago? VidMe. There's still dozens of other sites. It's going to eventually move over to one of those other sites. Like the majority of people are eventually just going to leave YouTube and start going to these other sites because it won't be cool anymore. It won't be where the kids hang out. All the old people will just hang out there, and it'll be gross. And the kids will just drive it to some other place. It's just
it's the way it works.
Watch the same shit your parents watch.
Yeah. No, that's why Facebook. Yeah, it's why fucking MySpace blinked out. It's why Facebook is on its way out, I think.
Oh yeah, somebody's going to come up with something new soon.
Right. Yeah, and the fact that my mother and fucking people that age are now on Facebook, young guy, I don't give a shit, not at my age, but yeah, you get fucking my kid knowing that I'm on Facebook or that his grandmother's on Facebook. He doesn't want anything to do with it. He's on Instagram or, whatever the fuck else.
Snapchat and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. They're not going to let it's again, it's the nature.
Yeah, they want
young people to not want anything to do with what their parents are doing, dude.
They want something that's going to have enough of a technical drawback for any adults to get so adults won't want to get on it,
right.
so that they can talk with their friends and make plans and do shit they're not supposed to do,
right.
in a place where they're not going to get caught.
Yeah, and even independent of that, they just don't want them fucking. It can't be cool if your parents are into it.
Well, keep in mind, I'm talking about like when you hung out with your friends in grade school and you guys would go down to the park so you could say fuck and no one would get mad.
Yeah.
I'm not even talking about like weird, creepy shit. I'm just saying like, kids just want to they want to swear. Or they want to like say outrageous shit to each other just to test their own fucking boundaries,
Yeah, and they're kind of gaining their own independence kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah, they want something that's just theirs.
Or as the social justice words would say, like, they got to go out and practice their fucking Fourth Reich Nazi march and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Practice their fascism.
Gotta learn how to make them fash cans.
Fash cans. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember that. I'm doing good with that.
That's fine, dude. I don't know that it's going to catch on. I'm just proud of myself for coming up with fash cans before anyone else did.
It may be too late.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, like I said, I was kind of obsessed with coming up with anything original. So the fact that I did was the main thing. It doesn't even matter if it didn't catch on.
Oh yeah,
it's not too late. Antifa's still around. Yeah.
Well, Oh, so it's interesting. They're gonna go. They're gonna have a trial now for. I forget where the group was that they got mass arrested. Essentially, there were like 250. Oh, in D.C., I think, when Trump was inaugurated. The place where he's basically he takes office, the official ceremony.
Yeah, the inauguration ceremony.
Ceremony, yeah, like he was inaugurated. And they mass arrested something like 250 people who were Antifa, Black Bloc, who were, committing a bunch of crimes. And they're charging all of them with felony.
Nice. Criminal mischief?
No, not criminal mischief, because that's not a felony. Conspiracy.
Oh wow!
So what they're saying is, you all dressed the same so that people could get in and out of the group, commit felony property damage, and then hide back in the group. So whether you were one of the people that did it or not, you were part of the group of people hiding the people that did it, and you're equally guilty.
Yeah, if you're wearing a mask to try to mask, again, who you are and trying to cover for other people that were doing shit, you're guilty too.
Yeah, it's pretty much an open and shut case. Like it's the only reason it might be difficult is depending on the judge. If there's like a left-leaning judge that gets in, they're going to be like, oh, you can't do that. They're just kids. And that is one of my problems is a lot of people who are like, well, they're just kids. I'm like, I don't fucking care.
Right.
Being 19 years old doesn't mean you get to go out and fucking light somebody's limousine on fire. Or help hide the person who fucking did it and not pay the price.
Yeah, it's a big problem with the fucking young dumbasses is the fact that they seem to have grown up in a consequence-free environment. So it's probably too late. It's probably too late for them, but for the other kids coming up, I think that's more important.
Well, and it wouldn't serve society, and it wouldn't serve them to let them go.
Yeah, exactly.
In my mind, you don't just allow them to do that and walk.
Right.
And I wonder if the area they were in had the no masks law, so they were violating that as well en masse.
Yeah. I wonder if they're doing is it like a RICO fucking thing they're doing?
I'm not sure what it is. I just saw a video about it, and it was really funny because the guy was like, well, I think it's wrong, and they didn't do anything wrong, and then proceeded to make the fucking case for prosecuting them.
Wow.
But they were doing this, and this, and I saw them doing it. I'm like, well, then what's your fucking point?
Yeah. They just should be able to.
Tim Pool, if that rings a bell, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with them politically, so that's the reason why I think they should be able to get away with it. Like, that's
he claims to be an unbiased journalist who was part of the group that got mass arrested and then let go.
Yeah.
So there was a bunch of press in there and legal observers who are essentially lawyers that wear bright orange hats, and basically they dress in like a similar uniform, so everybody knows that they're there just to observe and give testimony.
Okay.
Which doesn't, in my mind, doesn't mean anything.
Right.
Like, being a lawyer doesn't make you any more credible or reliable than any random person on the street. To me.
Yeah, honestly, I'd think less of a fucking lawyer.
Yes, to be honest, exactly. I would think that they would be more inclined to word things in a way that would make them less accurate. Based on whatever their personal views are and what they're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, they're experts at that shit.
So if they agree with the cause, they're more likely to word their answers to any questions when they're giving testimony in a way that's going to support the cause. And vice versa.
Yeah, it's what they do.
So clearly, the police, arrested this big group of people. There were press that were going insane, like just screaming and yelling and like frantically trying to get out and kind of things like that. They got arrested with the rest of the group. But the press members who just went over and separated out and were like, hey, I'm the press. What do you need from me? I have a press card. I'm here observing and filming, and that's it. I'm not participating.
Yeah, not participating. Yeah.
And those people they let go because they were, after like a little bit of time, they just checked their credentials and sent them on their way.
Yeah.
Because they were being rational.
Yeah, not freaking out, fucking yelling like a fucking banshee.
I mean, the police are not going to let somebody go if they think that person is immediately going to go and break more laws.
Yeah.
Press or not, it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah. No, I would definitely be curious if they're actually going to do it under the RICO statutes or not. I think they would kind of have to almost, right? I mean, I know it's not quite, I don't organized crime, but it's pretty close, dude. That's gang activity, man.
I don't know whether they are or not, but they are charging them all.
Yeah.
It seems like they would have to. 6.
Yeah. It seems like they would have to.
In a couple of days, they're trying the first group of 6 of them. And then that's probably going to set precedent for how they handle the rest of the 200 and some odd people.
Yeah, I gotcha. Huh. It's weird.
My hope is that they get the book thrown at them.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. I really hope so. Let that be a lesson that, fuck you, you're not getting away with this shit. This isn't fucking Berkeley, assholes.
It isn't, exactly. But the thing is, if they start charging them here, it might make it harder for them to not be charging them in other states.
Right.
So this was essentially the first real big Antifa violent thing that happened.
Right.
So the hope is that it starts to, turn the tide of this. Let's look the other way. Let's let the rioters wear themselves out bullshit.
Yeah.
Let's just let the rioters fucking hard out. They'll be fine.
Yeah, just let them cry themselves to sleep. They're just
that's really easy to say when it's not your fucking business or your fucking house that gets destroyed. You know what I mean? Or your kid that gets beat the fuck out of, or your wife that gets raped. When you're in your little fucking, castle on the hill with fucking guards and big fucking walls to keep everyone out, it's real easy to say, yeah, just let them keep going.
Yeah. Although I'm surprised because, again, especially like in Berkeley there, like they were taking out banks and shit, like trying to take out banks and that. I'm like, how are those?
Well, they did. I mean, they destroyed bank windows. They destroyed Starbucks stuff.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the big corporations. So.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're not like what the fuck are you doing? Why are you allowing?
I'm sure publicly they're not making a huge stink because they don't want to get on the wrong side of the politics.
Oh, right.
Privately, they're talking to people and going, "What the fuck are you going to do about this? You know, like,
yeah, how the fuck are you pulling cops and just letting them? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I figure that's got to be kicked back eventually.
Yeah,
but no, that's fucking awesome, dude. Yeah, I'm glad that's just happening.
Yeah, so I was very happy to see that. I was thrilled about that.
Yeah.
And then, another piece of good news is Trump just pulled out of the UN migration agreement. So that's a big step forward. So no more of the mass immigration stuff like that. So it's actually going to drastically reduce the number of migrants allowed into the country legally. Like, we're starting to work on actually keeping the illegals out and, you know, lowering the amount of legal aliens. You know, like, hopefully this is, you know, the end of the bullshit, like the lottery and stuff. I don't know if you heard of that one.
Yeah, I just shut down and fucking had to reopen the thing. I don't know if you missed me or not.
Yeah, no, I was wondering. I was sitting there like, can you just fucking go?
Yeah, I was trying to minimize the fucking window, and I accidentally hit the fucking X, dude.
So what happened was Trump pulled out of the UN agreement for migration.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good step forward, like lowering the amount of legal immigrants, as well as, you know, we're doing more and more to stop the illegal ones from coming in too.
Yeah, yeah, that's fucking awesome.
Definitely improve our economy.
We'd almost have to, right? I mean, with his campaign shit, he would almost have to fucking step out of that shit. Yeah. Good for him for holding to his fucking sticking to his guns.
Yeah, it actually says, it's a short little blurb. I'll just read the whole thing. United States ends participation in Global Compact on Migration today. The U.S. mission to the United Nations informed the UN Secretary General that the United States is ending its participation in the Global Compact on Migration. U.S. participation in the contract process began in 2016 following the Obama administration's decision to join the UN's New York Declaration on Migration. The New York Declaration contains numerous provisions that are inconsistent with U.S. immigration and refugee policies.
Nice.
And the Trump administration's irremigration principles? I don't know what the fuck that means. Is that a real word?
It's got to be just a misspelled of immigration, dude.
I got to check just in case, because sometimes I'm wrong.
Yeah, it's correcting the immigration. Yeah.
Immigration principles. As a result, President Trump determined that the United States would, here it's two V's, that's not a W, would end its participation in the compact process. Well, you know, the news is fucking not the news anymore. It's not these. You're not getting accurate information from the larger, more powerful.
Yeah, no, it's all biased. Yeah, they're not interested in facts, dude. They're fucking interested in swaying your opinion.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, fucking Nancy Pelosi fucking tweeted out that the new law about reciprocity, where, like, you know, basically requires every state to respect every other state's concealed carry permits, puts guns in the hands of criminals and all sorts of shit that just flat out doesn't even make sense.
Right.
Like, the law has no effect on who can and can't get guns in any state whatsoever.
Yeah. So they're fucking. Yeah, it's ridiculous, dude. Nobody seems to be interested in truth. They seem just, again, my ideology, it's so important and it's so fucking right that bullshitting and ignoring truth or statistics or anything, you know, it's fine. You know, it's justified.
Facts don't matter. Facts don't matter. Feelings matter. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, it's fucking so fucking frustrating. You know?
So here's one that somebody did the math to figure out how much illegal aliens cost the U.S. And it's nearly $40 billion for every year.
Yeah. So yeah, the wall slowing will at least slow it down to fucking more than justify the cost. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Exactly. The building the wall would make a huge difference.
Yeah, regardless of the upfront costs, it's going to be pay itself back very quickly.
Let's see. 23 billion it's costing California is basically costing 23 billion.
Yeah.
Oh, if you actually add it all up, it's more than 40 billion a year.
Right.
But building the wall would actually lower the costs to us all substantially. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Let's get it done, people.
I really want to see just the wall built just to make people angry, to be honest.
I want to see them at the wall protesting.
Yeah, exactly. I just want to see people get all ass hurt. You know, fucking, no, fucking wall's racist and shit like that. It's like, no, the wall is pretty fucking inanimate, you fucking moron.
Yeah. How dare we build up our international border against people just crossing willy-nilly?
Well, racist. How much drug trade will cut now.
Right. Yeah, they'll have to be digging all kinds of tunnels underneath.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they'll find ways around over and under the wall. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, they're really good at digging tunnels underneath and fucking coming out. Well, shit, they can fucking dig tunnels underneath prisons and up into dudes' fucking prison cells. You know, I think they can figure out a way to.
Everybody knew that shit was going down. Like that could not have been done without a lot of the people in the prison being like, "Okay, I'm on board. You pay it
off." That's true. Yeah,
It's Mexico. Let's not pretend that's not how it works. Yeah.
Right. All right, just make it look fucking clean, whatever you're doing.
Yeah. They were probably essentially basically looking at it like, you're going to have to bribe us a certain amount to look the other way, and we're not going to just let them walk out the front door. There's too much international issue.
Yeah, we will let you cut out the floor in there and let him go through the fucking sewer or wherever the fuck he was going through. But yeah, we can't just let you walk out.
Hookers and you're probably getting like hookers and cocaine in jail, no doubt.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all, man.
Oh, that actually is that's one of my favorite little clips I see. I don't know if you ever watch news bloopers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been a while.
Really funny because they're just so fucking incompetent sometimes. But they were one of the bigger lottery jackpots was up in one of the states, and everybody's like, filling out their lottery tickets, and they're like asking people what they do if they won. Mm-hmm. And one guy was just like, hookers and cocaine, man. I just get a lot of hookers and cocaine.
Nice.
And they were just like, well, that's not the answer we wanted. Shit.
Fuck, at least that dude's honest.
I love it. Yeah. Straight up. You could tell he wasn't fucking with him either. He was just like, yeah, that's what I do.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, fuck
like,
that.
Who wouldn't do hookers and cocaine? Come on, man.
Yeah, man. I'm not staying clean if I win the fucking lottery. I'm gonna be like, hey, I can even I can't burn through fucking this much money with my habit. Yeah.
They'd be wrong though.
Yeah, I know, dude. I was literally talking about myself.
Like 90% of the fucking lottery winners end up broke within like 5 years or something like that.
Yeah, it's really fucking crazy. Yeah, but again, as long as you're not buying any mansions or any other shit, if you're a dedicated drug addict, you don't care where you're at when you're using. You don't care how nice the place is.
You're still living in the ghetto, like random crack houses and shit.
Right? Yeah, you buy like an average size house, and you got all kinds of money for the drugs.
See, like me personally, I would buy a big piece of property out in the fucking boonies and build just like a nice house. Like I wouldn't even build like a giant house.
Yeah, just a decent sized house, enough like have like, a big screen, a big ass TV and video games to play, and that's it.
You have a few people over now and again, so you can have people come stay with you. Like I build a couple of guest cottages, like little small ones, where it's essentially a bedroom and a bathroom kind of thing.
Yeah, little studios for those guys. Yeah, a little studio. It's little studio apartments.
Well, because it would be cool to have little cottages or cabins like further out in the woods.
Right.
It'd basically just be like a little kitchenette, bathroom, and bedroom kind of dealio. And then if people come over or you want to go camping further out and kind of rough it for a little while.
Right.
I'm not talking about buying like 1 or 2 acres. I'd buy like 500, 500 or 1,000 acres somewhere.
Yeah. No, I'd like to do that somewhere.
Bothered.
Yeah, I'd like to buy a shitload of land like that up around like Flagstaff here or Payson, maybe even Prescott or Sedona. Well, Sedona is ridiculous expensive. But yeah, I'd love to have a big chunk of land like that and just have.
See, I would go for Oregon because I'd want like a big forested area where I could like grow like a garden, you know, so I could have my own fresh like tomatoes and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, no, that's why I mentioned those areas. There's pine forests.
Oh, is that what they are? Yes.
Oak
As long as it's
forests.
somewhere where it's not hot all the time.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of heat. I'm much more of a fan of cold. Like I can handle snow, but I'd much rather deal with snow than 110.
Yeah. No, Flagstaff is it's like I'd say from the kind of the northern tip of Phoenix. It's only about an hour and a half drive, but the temperature drops because it goes up to around 7,000 feet in elevation. The temperature drops like 30 degrees in an hour and a half drive from North Phoenix.
Nice.
Right. Yeah, no, it's fucking awesome, dude. Mm-hmm. Yeah, even Payson, like from like the East Valley, Payson's about 45 minutes, and it drops about a good 20 to 25 degrees.
Yeah.
It gets up into the pine forest again. Like that's the area I usually go camping, is up around the Payson area, which is not far away at all.
So yeah, essentially, I'd want a house somewhere where like it's sort of like you're camping out in the woods, but there's just nobody near you. So like you don't got to worry about the neighbors calling if you play your music loud, or people getting upset if you have a party or something.
Yeah. Where they literally can't hear you no matter how loud you're cranking the shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like I could just get out of my, walk naked out of my house, my front door, and nobody's gonna fucking know or care.
Mm-hmm. Right on. Yeah, compound.
Yep. Oh, I don't know if I'd want to if I won the lotto if I'd do the compound thing. To be honest,
no,
I'd have guests, but I'd be mostly like on my own.
Although, if you think about it, it would be easy to get a cult going. You know?
It would be much simpler if you had a lot of money to start with.
Right.
Because there's always going to be those people that are too lazy to work. Definitely going to be the ones too lazy to think for themselves.
Yeah, it's perfect. Win-win. But then you trick them. You get them to, you start making them do like commune type shit. Like, all right, if you want to stay here, you got to tend the garden and you got to wash dishes. Trick them.
Yeah, that's fair. It would take a lot of labor to keep up a house. You want it clean.
Yeah. Have them all doing something.
So you either got to live close enough to a town that like you can get a cleaning service out on a regular basis for not too much, or you do have to start a cult. It's really one or the other, I think.
Right. Probably cheaper to fucking start the cult.
It probably would be.
Yeah.
Or just go to Libya and buy like a house cleaner. Because apparently that's how that works.
Just buy people again.
Oh, that's how Libya works, man. You fucking they sell people. You might as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, apparently that's pretty common throughout, the Middle East, Africa. Slavery is still real, people. Slavery still happens.
And notice, it is not the white people doing it this time. I really want that taken into account.
Yeah. Well, dude, apparently the fucking Arabs, whether Muslim or not, have been a pretty big part of the fucking slave trade forever.
Yeah.
Like since fucking way back.
Yeah. But nobody wants to say that because it's politically incorrect.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. Or the shit that places like Qatar or fucking Emirates do where they fucking... hey, come over here and work in our country. And then when you get here, they pull your fucking passport and you essentially still get paid technically, but it's barely enough to live, essentially. Like you can feed yourself and that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's ridiculous that they get away with that shit.
Well, and then as long as they keep your documents, your passport and stuff, there's nothing you can do about it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get back out in a lot of cases.
Yeah. No, it's horrible, dude. And that shit is somehow allowed. It's really fascinating.
Yep. Well, see, they have all the oil, so we kind of have to work with them.
Right.
And that's how they fund a lot of this shit at this point.
Yeah. I mean, that shit's gonna run out eventually, dude. And what the fuck's gonna happen?
I don't know why we're not actively pursuing as many possible options, alternatives as we can.
Yeah.
If nothing else, just from a military's perspective, it makes no sense to have one of your necessities be in control of somebody who's kind of an enemy.
Right.
Oh, good luck with your drama, Mad Metal.
No, what happened?
I don't know. He says you got to go deal with some drama.
Oh yeah, he's the one that owns the store there or whatever. Nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's fun.
Have good drama-ing.
Just shoot somebody and you'll be fine.
Yeah. You're in Texas.
I'm sure that's legal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, here's something I saw that was pretty crazy. Here's another one. I thought like just the UK is fucked kind of thing.
Cross-dressing queer role models read to toddlers to stop hate crime. Jesus Christ, dude.
So they're bringing drag queens into UK nursery schools as role models, so that they'll be used to it. Look at this little girl's face, man.
Yeah.
She just has that look on her face, like the fuck is going on? This is fucking weird. Why? Because
like I have not been normal. Confused. Yeah, I have not been this confused since I came out of the womb. Since I entered this world.
Humans don't dress like this.
Yeah. This is way scarier than any clown. You know, some kids are terrified of clowns. Like, this is way worse than that. That dude have a fucking mustache? Or is that just a light? Wait, go back up. Does that dude have a fucking mustache? The first guy that went up the fucking rainbow? Under the trick of the light?
What it is there's the light pink lipstick, and then there's lip liner. And they've done like a really dark purple lip liner around the edge of the pink lipstick.
Oh, okay.
And so it looks
just kind
like
of cut it in there. Yeah, okay. You sure?
But it's just like people don't look like that. Like just normal people. That's not normal.
God,
women don't dress like that.
Yeah, I'm still not convinced that's not a fucking thin mustache, but all right.
It might be, but
he's got like a fucking Freddie Mercury fucking mustache. Yeah, no, that's disturbing, dude. That's like.
Would you not be pissed? I mean, I'd be pissed. I mean, what the fuck is wrong?
Yeah, yeah, like you're fucking up. You're terrorizing, dude. Like that's too much, too young.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. You don't just spring that on people, man. I don't think you should allow clowns, dude. Yeah, I don't think they should allow clowns in like kids that young because I think that can be fucking terrifying, dude. It's too different, dude. It's too much, too different, dude. You know, you got to work your way into that kind of shit with the young kids, man. Just anything that's that different, you know, I think has to be fucking eased up to.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and like, it should be the parents' decision, not the preschool's decision, the nursery school. I don't think that's right.
Yeah, no, it's again, it should be something that either gets approval or something that they can opt out of and be like, no, I want you to. I don't care if you put my kid in a fucking closet, dude. I don't want him around that shit. Lock him in a fucking dark closet somewhere. I don't want him to fucking see that. Obviously, I'm exaggerating, but you know, fucking let me know. I will make other arrangements that day. You know?
Yeah, or just don't do it in the first place because it's not really appropriate.
Yeah, completely unnecessary. It's obviously pushing an agenda. You know, yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, nothing against drag queens, transvestites. You never hear those words anymore. Come to think of it, you rarely hear drag queen or transvestite anymore.
No, I forget what it is. It's all just trans now.
Yeah, apparently they're kind of trying to lump all that shit together for some reason. Like, I don't think transvestites, transsexuals are not the same thing, dude. You know what I mean? Like, transvestites just dudes like to dress up as women, you know, and transsexuals are ones that actually feel that, you know, they have that dysphoria or whatever, where they actually feel, you know, that they are the opposite gender. And again, maybe I'm getting that wrong. Like transvestites, if Eddie Izzard is to be believed from back in the day, it's, you know, straight dudes that like to dress up as women. Drag queens are generally gay dudes that also like to dress up as women, you know. And now we got transsexuals, which seems different to me, you know, actual dysphoria or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's too much for me. I just can you just call them trannies and be done with
it. Yeah. Nope. We need to have every letter represented in the LGBT Jesus. I could not believe that was a real thing when they put it out. Thing with that many fucking letters on it, dude. It was really fucking ridiculous.
So then
what was it? A total of 15 letters in the LGBT plus.
I don't fucking know anymore, man.
I'm pretty sure it was 15. Yeah.
So what letter is this one under? The teenager who raped a chicken to death.
Oh, wow.
It was a 14-year-old boy raped a chicken to death. The boy was arrested after his neighbor claimed he stole his pet chicken and carried out the sex attack.
Wow.
He said he did it because he was sexually frustrated. And we have no other information.
Is that in America, or is this another English one?
Well, there was a medical examination of the chicken, and it confirmed that it was sexually attacked, and the boy was arrested.
Wow.
I don't know. This may not even be a real story. It might be completely false.
Right. Like, oh, it turns out this is an Onion type fucking website or something, or it's just a false story.
Yeah. I would tend to believe it's just a really obscure story, probably from like the U.S. somewhere.
Yeah. Yeesh. Wow. Hey, I forgot to. I keep forgetting to bring this up back when you're talking about the Trump thing. But did you hear about him wanting to move the U.S. embassy in Israel to Jerusalem and recognizing Jerusalem as the
Well, he did recognize Jerusalem. He actually said, like, yeah, we believe that Jerusalem is the true capital of whatever it is. I forget what the
Israel.
Yeah. I don't care. I mean, honestly, I don't really understand what the problem is. Like,
well, I think it's the era.
Like, Pakistan's stated goal is the eradication of the Jewish people. Like, you're not.
Yeah, Palestine, I assume.
Yeah. Palestine, Pakistan. I don't know. They're all fucking.
Well, Pakistan too, probably, but Palestine would be more.
Yeah, Palestine. There was never going to be peace with Palestine. They were never interested in peace in the first place.
Yeah, no. Again, like you said, that's their goal, is to fucking wipe them out. Whatever the one, I forget what they call it now, but it used to be the PLO, Palestine Liberation Organization, whatever. I forget what it is now, but it was Arafat's old organization. Yeah, their thing was from the river to the sea, fucking wipe out all the fucking Jews, dude.
Yeah, they don't want any Jews to be alive, period. It doesn't even have anything to do with Israel.
Yeah,
it's just Islam. Like, that's the way Islam works. They have like a special hate on for the fucking Jews.
Yeah.
Not entirely.
Yeah, it is. It is about time to just fucking say, fuck you guys. You obviously are just pretending like you want to negotiate, and you're just saying no to everything.
Yeah,
no matter what.
Playing the game of letting them pretend to negotiate and then go out and bomb shit.
Yeah,
take them down. Take them out.
Yeah, and that's generally what happens is after the negotiations, there's way more fucking terror. There's way more fucking incidents of violence. Yeah, it's just an excuse, dude.
Yeah, let them, tell them, like, hey, man, if you cross the line, we're just going to start bombing the shit out of your country until it doesn't exist.
Yeah, and see, this is what I think why Trump is actually kind of perfect for this, is he's not a diplomat. He's going to fucking call them on their bullshit. They're not going to be. He's not going to be polite about it. He's going to say again, like you said, you guys are obviously have no fucking interest in peace. You do not want peace, no matter what the fuck you're saying. So fuck you. We're doing.
Like we've given you all these options of peaceful resolutions, and you just refuse all of them.
Yeah.
And you claim that you're going to follow them, and then don't.
Yeah. So and they pretend. They pretend that Jerusalem is super important to Islam, and it's really not. You got the Temple Mount, but I mean, they care about Jerusalem because the Jews want it. That's it. That really is all that the fucking is why that. You're gonna tell me that fucking Mecca and Medina aren't the main fucking places? That Jerusalem is somehow is super important to fucking Islam? It's ridiculous, dude.
Well, realistically, it would make more sense. at least in my mind, it would make more sense to just slowly start taking away as much of the land as we can and eliminating the Islamic groups altogether. But that's makes me sound like Hitler.
yeah. Although it would be pretty much, probably the only way to have there to be fucking peace there is to literally ban Arabs from the place.
The only the way to do it, reasonably, is to start by starving the area of money.
Yeah. We throw a lot of money apparently into that fucking area.
Yeah, if we just start taking all the money out of the area so that they don't have any real modern weapons, it'll be a lot easier to deal with.
Right. Yeah.
If they can't build explosives, but they have to ride their fucking camels and horses out with fucking swords and old flintlock rifles and shit, because that's all they can afford.
AKs are still pretty cheap, dude. AKs are,
you know what I'm saying, essentially.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. But yeah, it's a fucking mess, and again, it's obvious the fucking Muslim whatever have no interest in anything other than trying to wipe out every fucking Jew. And again, Israel does some fucked up shit too, but compared to the fucking Islamist fuckers, it's not that bad.
Well, I wonder though if people stop trying to kill them, if they would stop doing fucked up shit.
Right.
I think there's a fair point to say, hey, they've been murdered and fucking blown up so many times that they're getting a little fucking pissed.
Yeah, I think they've actually kind of shown a lot of restraint. Like, they do dick as shit, especially like the checkpoints and that, but it's really is understandable. Considering the shit that's happened to them, Well, and then this was a point. I know, like Shapiro kind of is a little. I don't want to say dishonest because I don't think he does the fucking the debate. I think he believes whatever he says. I don't think he's doing it to deliberately be dishonest. But in this case, you made a really solid point. Is the fact that, like in Jerusalem, any of the places that are controlled by the Jews, Muslims are still allowed to go into those holy sites. The sites that are controlled by the Muslims, Jews are not allowed in there. Like the Temple Mount.
And let's be fair, like the Jews are not blowing up mosques.
Yeah.
And the Arabs are blowing up like the fucking temples. They're disassembling or changing the Jewish temples into mosques. They're not, allowing the Jews to keep their religion in their holy sites.
Yeah. No, it's completely one-sided. You can see what happens when they have authority at a place. They're not magnanimous with it at all. The ones that are Islam controlled or Muslim controlled.
Well, and they slowly just execute Jews essentially when they're in control.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, is the Torah allowed in a lot of the places in the Middle East?
I'm guessing not, dude.
I'm curious now. Like, does the Middle East is the Torah?
I would be shocked if it was, dude. It's got to be illegal. You know what I mean? It's got to be straight up illegal in most of those countries.
All right. Now, just because over pork and stuff, I'm sure it is. It's just not. It's Google, so you're not going to get a accurate answer. Damn it, I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
Let me search DuckDuckGo. Because, I mean, like, have you ever done, like, the Google search for white couple?
No.
Oh, I'll do that here in a second. That shit's fucking ridiculous. It doesn't say anything. I think maybe it's one of those things that just nobody talks about, perhaps. So here, let me share screen here. This is bizarre. It's a weird sort of thing. So This is what you get when you type in white couple for an image search.
Wow. Holy shit.
Completely ridiculous, right?
So even the ones that are white are like almost all those ones are going to be like two lesbians or two gay guys with a black kid. I see there. Wow.
Yep.
Fuck Google, dude.
American inventors, and they're all black.
Yeah.
And it's like that's not remotely close to the majority of American inventors.
Right. Fuck. Wow, dude.
There's even a clock maker.
Yeah, they even
fucking who made the fake clock to fucking who clearly made it look like a bomb on purpose.
Right.
And did not make a clock. He literally just took an alarm clock apart to make a fake bomb.
Yeah, it's amazing how they spun that.
Yeah. Like, there's no doubt. And he actually lost all the court cases. So even the courts agree. Like, he clearly intended to make a fake bomb.
Yeah, I never followed up on that. I didn't realize that. That's fucking bullshit, dude.
Shapiro, I saw some stuff with Shapiro, and I'm sure, while he may be wrong about a lot of things, I'm sure court verdicts is not one of them.
Right.
So it's too easy to find out. Like, any fool is going to find out. But you see how far down, these are all super obscure, extremely obscure inventors until you get down to, like, quite a bit low. And even then, it's still not American inventors. I mean, it is, but they're obscure American inventors that probably nobody really knows because they're extreme. None of them have invented anything terribly important.
Yeah, it looks like Tariq Nasheed was responsible for the fucking search results on those.
Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Are you familiar with Tariq Nasheed?
I know that he's a super racist dude, but I don't know that much more about him.
Yeah, no, he'll call black people white supremacists if they disagree with him. Like and he's the one that's kind of put out some of the series of like everything that's ever been invented here was a black person somehow, like crazy shit, dude. Like,
okay, really so he's like Gazi Kozo.
Yeah, not quite that bad. And he's also the one that used to be the rapper K-Flex. I think he used to be a pimp. He is famous for the wash yo ass.
You told me about that before. Yeah, I remember that part.
Yeah, the literal and metaphorical meanings behind wash yo ass. I still think that's so fucking funny, dude. That is so fucking funny to me, dude. That he has a song that literally talks about that as, again, a literal meaning. It has a metaphorical meaning, dude. Oh, fuck. I don't know why, but I find that so fucking hilarious.
Metaphorically, wash your ass, man. Fucking, there's no metaphor that makes sense here, buddy. Sorry. It's fucking weird.
Yeah.
You saw the
I'm going to try to find that fucking song, dude, and fucking send it to you.
I've seen the song, dude. I looked that up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was awful. It was just fucking terrible. Like, there's no redeeming qualities.
But yeah. Like I said, he's out there, man. You know, it's pretty entertaining. You almost think he has to be a Poe, but I don't think he is. I think he's serious, dude.
Yeah. Do you see the NFL is trying to buy out their players?
It's trying to what?
The NFL is trying to buy out their players to stop them from kneeling during the national anthem because it's so unpopular.
Yeah, wow.
They're offering about $100 million split up into social justice type charity things.
Wow.
Yep. They're like, hey,
dude, I stopped watching. Yeah, Thanksgiving. I watched the Lions lose on Thanksgiving, and I'm finally. I was like, I'm done. You know, for what I was kind of hanging out because my team has always been horrible, and I'm like, I think they might actually be decent this year. Yeah, after they lost on Thanksgiving, I haven't watched the NFL since, dude.
Well, and that's what's going on for a lot of places. I mean, they're losing a huge amount of live people. Like their stadiums are getting emptier and emptier, and they're just not doing anything about it. It's so sad.
Right.
Because realistically, all they have to do is just fire them.
Yeah.
It's all written into their contracts, that they have to stand for the national anthem. That's actually part of the contract for the NFL. They did it as a publicity stunt when the Blue Angels were flying over the games or something.
Right.
Like a big, I think when it was 1976, like the centennial, the bicentennial or whatever it was, the big, anniversary, 200-year anniversary of the country or something.
Right.
They made a big thing about it, and we're all super patriotic, and that was part of the thing is that they pledged to stand during the national anthem, and it's in all.
Yeah, so it's actually written into there.
Legally, they can fire all of them, and that's what I would do. If I were the NFL commissioner, I would legit just fire every single one of them, and then figure out like an easy way to recruit like new players.
Yeah. Well, no, that's the thing is there's plenty of fucking talented dudes that just didn't make it. There's and they would become stars. They just would. There would be new stars that were willing to fucking not, willing to stand for the anthem. New stars are going to happen. It's automatic.
When you make a statement that dramatic, you're gonna, the other players are gonna be like, well, shit.
Yeah. I haven't followed the NBA. Did any of the NBA players fucking take a knee?
I don't think that's ever been an issue.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm asking is because the dude that runs the NBA now, I think Stern retired. Silver, I think his name is. But I think he was literally like, no, none of our players are going to fucking kneel for the anthem. And I was just wondering if anybody actually did because I don't follow the NBA anymore either. They're not closely. Yeah, I guess I could have searched that myself again.
The NBA circulated a memo warning players if they don't stand for the national anthem, they do so at their own peril. Let's see. They've been.
I think they did other shit. That's right. Yeah, instead of kneeling for the anthem, they're doing other shit. Apparently,
they found other things to do. I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
it's from what I looked from the little bit I saw when I googled it. It looked like the people at the NBA were like, "Yeah, we're not fucking around. Like, you will lose your job."
Yeah. Oh man.
Or they'll just fine them. They won't fire them. They take their money away.
They locked arms. That's what they did. They locked arms for the anthem. Oh, you fucking rebels, you. Yeah.
Well, it's nothing funnier than a bunch of people who are making millions of dollars to play a game pretending that they fucking stand for the impoverished.
Yeah.
But you don't fucking stand for shit.
Yeah.
You may have at one point, but you fucking don't know.
Right. Yeah. No, it is ridiculous to hear these guys mouth off about the fucking shit. Like, dude, you've been out of it way too fucking long. You're fucking, you have no touch with reality. And this is my problem with whether it's athletes, comics, actors, any of these fucking people. You have not lived in the real world. I know you think you do. You do not live in the real world. You just don't.
Well, and here's the thing you got to remember about Hollywood, especially, is Hollywood is super fucking nepotistic.
Right.
The vast majority of the people in Hollywood that are famous are related to or really good friends with relatives of other people who are really famous, and that's how they got in.
Yeah.
It's actually extremely rare for somebody who's not connected in some way to get big in Hollywood.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah. Well, it's like Bill Murray is huge, so his brother gets roles all the time. Like that kind of stuff. The Coppolas are a huge family. There's a lot of the fucking standard Jewish stuff that goes on with like the Jewish families and whatnot.
Right.
Like, they really do run a lot of Hollywood. Like a lot of people not true because it sounds super anti-Semitic to say it, but no, they fucking do, and they're very nepotistic.
Yeah. Or just again, only doing. I guarantee they try to deal with just other Jewish people, even if it's not family.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They'll definitely prioritize that.
Right. Yeah, that's how they manage.
That's why. I wonder if that's why Hollywood's gotten so shitty. Because I mean, a lot
it could be like talent.
It's
not really a meritocracy anymore. It's just well, yeah. I mean, movies now
seem good.
Yeah, they seem more concerned about the ideology thing than just making a good fucking movie.
Yeah, like I was watching. I went and watched Thor not long ago, and you just didn't fucking care. Like, I don't know who wrote it, but the storyline had really good bones. But for some reason, and also for some reason, like half the Asgardians are black now. Like, I'm not sure how all the Viking people are turned black. That's weird.
Yeah.
But like, sorry, you mean it? But like, you didn't care about the people at all. Like, there was no connection. They didn't write the movie very well at all in that respect. So like, it's just a bunch of like disconnected fight scenes that just got. You didn't care about the characters. It was just not that. I mean, it wasn't terrible. It just wasn't. It was not great.
Yeah, they don't bother with character development or again making you care about the fucking people in the movie. You know, because they don't flesh them out at all. You know.
Yeah, the jokes were extremely unsubtle. You know, Thor is like, "Oh, I've always preferred you, Hulk," and then like when Hulk turns back to Banner, like, "Oh, I've always preferred you, Bruce Banner." You know, it's so funny,
hilarious.
So who would have thought? It's such a surprise.
Yeah, that sucks because Marvel. It's weird, but Marvel had actually they were the ones that kind of went all gung ho on the actual comic books. With the SJW bullshit, but their movies had still done relatively well. DC didn't go in as hard on the fucking SJW shit, but their movies suck.
Yeah.
Like their movies never do well, dude. Or not never, but Batman usually does well.
Yeah.
But you know, it's kind of weird, man. Yeah, the whole thing is.
It just would have taken some background and some like. I don't know, some scenes where you just kind of see more of the people from Asgard doing like Asgardian things. You know what I
mean? Little fucking 20 or 30-second clips here and there go a fucking way, a long way.
Something to connect you to the group of people that are being threatened.
Yeah.
Or a few characters that are not like the big heroes that play parts in the story.
Yeah.
Like you can have like an Asgardian that's not like some sort of super powered anything. Who's fighting to make you feel for and connect to that group of people.
Yeah.
You know what
I
mean?
hope they don't do that with the fucking Infinity War shit. I hope they actually flesh that out and fucking.
Yeah, I mean, because
that's a good storyline, dude.
Well, the original stories were so good, and it's weird how they've just taken all the really good juicy bits out and left it with just like a bunch of cool fight scenes, which are fun to watch. Like I enjoyed the movie. I'd go watch it again sometime, or I mean, I will watch it again. I don't necessarily go pay for it again, like in a theater or anything like that. But it was the same with Justice League.
Right.
Like Justice League was like all this build-up, really, really good storyline, like building the characters to us. I mean, they didn't do as bad as Marvel. They did better than Marvel, at least.
Right.
But then at the end, like the fight was just like a big fucking letdown. Like there was almost no real. I don't know. It was like half the time of any of the other fights. It just didn't feel epic.
Gotcha.
And then there was this one scene that I think was like an outtake that somehow made it into the film where fucking Ben Affleck playing Batman literally gets this look on his face where he's gonna he looks like he's gonna suck Superman's dick.
I heard about that. I haven't seen it, but yeah, I've heard it's super gay.
It's so weird. It's the look that you get that guys get in movies where like the girl they see the girl they really like again or something. You know, like it was so weird and out of place. And like everybody in the theater just kind of went, "Huh?"
Oh man, like that was awkward.
It literally, like it's in the very final part of the movie, and it just takes you completely out of it for like 5 seconds.
Yeah, wow. Dude, I gotta fucking see this shit. I have to fucking see this shit, dude.
It's the rest of the movie is great. Like the build up is great. It's just the end kind of is. Oh, I don't know, less interesting and challenging than you feel like it should be. You know what I mean? Like it's like I felt like that fight could have been a lot more epic.
Yeah, like that should have lasted longer. That should have been bigger. Yeah, I got you.
This guy who's just tearing everyone apart should at least be able to hold his own with Superman for at least a couple of minutes.
Yeah. Although that is kind of the issue with Superman, is he is a little too overpowered.
Oh yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah. Eesh. All right. Well, oh fuck, dude. I'm gonna have to cut it shorter pretty quick. My boy's home, so we can go a little bit longer if you want. But do you have anything else that was pertinent, or not pertinent, but that you definitely wanted to go over today?
Let's see. I can save this one for another one. The only thing I had that left out, other than a silly story, was WikiLeaks confirmed that Hillary did in fact sell classified secrets for foreign governments for cash, supposedly. But let's be honest, nothing's gonna fucking happen.
All right. Yeah. No. It's the most frustrating part about all that is these people should be being arrested for treason, dude, espionage and treason, and nothing's fucking happening, dude.
Yeah, they should be, and it's never going to happen.
Yeah, no, it's sickening, man. Yeah.
We lost our William.
Mm-hmm. Oh, did he already back out?
Oh no, he's back already. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right.
But that was really like the end, and that's kind of like we've tread that ground so many times at this point. I don't really see.
Yeah. It just it's almost like it doesn't make you angry anymore. You've just accepted it, which is kind of worse than.
Oh, I'm still angry. I just I'm not going to waste my time and energy on it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it pisses you off, but you know nothing's going to happen, so it's pointless. You're just like, yep, they're going to fucking get away with it. They're fucking treasonous bullshit. They're going to get away with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. That's why I thought it was just like one of those things where it's like, yeah, we're pretty much. That's never going to get dealt with.
Yeah. Let's see someone close to that fucking, even if it's not them directly, somebody close to them, somebody close to that level, going to fucking prison for something, dude, would be
at least a long way. Trial.
Yeah.
At the very least, going to in front of a judge and jury would be real nice.
Yeah. It would restore a little faith in the system, and it might put a little fear into the fuckers higher up that could happen to them, you know. But no, they are fucking untouchable, man.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's just But then again, hopefully things like Roy Moore will, take the seat in the Senate or the House of Reps or whichever he gets elected. I can't remember what he's running for.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
And then he'll be untouchable there too. So I mean. You take the good with the bad, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, on that cheerful note, let's call an end to
that. Yeah, man.
Peace out, guys. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, as always.